don't know what to say.
That made me giggle there in background. Oh, no. Mute that. Mute that. How are we getting? You get a sound playing for there, Rick?
Shouldn't have. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not me.
Not me. Not you. Where the hell is that coming from?
I've got nothing on in the background.
It's coming from me. How the hell is that coming from me? I'm muted.
I don't know. Perhaps it's that music. Yeah. I can't hear nothing now.
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, maybe I was playing it back through my own speakers. Right, fingers crossed then. Hopefully, that's the
last time we hear that music, isn't it?
No, it's not going to be. We thought we'd give it a little bit of something different. Give it a little bit of new year, new feel. Loving the reggae vibes.
Reggae vibes.
Farmer Coy says, very funky music, Gaz. I used to rave to this in the 70s.
Yes.
Jay says, that's better, Gaz. No echo now. Nice one. Thank you very much, guys. Happy New Year to you all. Welcome back to this GKP Live, Thursday Night Live, which is kicking off the first one for 2025. I hope you've all had a better Christmas than I have, as it's been like a doctor's surgery in our house. Everybody's been ill and all sorts of ailments and dying left, right, and centre. It's been probably Christmas itself was Christmas, but for us being ill, it's been probably one of the worst ones we think we've ever had. Both me and, in fact, all the decorations and everything have gone. That's it, out the window. It's a lot out today, mate. Well, honest to God, that's how bad we've felt. We've been, pair of us have just felt like today's the first day I've left the house, and that were to go to work and come back. That's it. And I've not left the house once, fairly, and I've got a cupboard full of alcohol, cupboards full of booze, and not been able to touch, drink a drop, or been even in the mood to do out. So, but we're still here.
I can't say the same. We've drunk the house dry, so
drunk the house dry, nailed the lot. Had to go out and re-top up, eh?
A few times, but yeah, month off now.
Month off. Oh, is it dry January? Is that it?
No, it's just how it goes, isn't it? February's going to be on holiday like in February night. Between Japan and Romania and whatever, I'll be having a few.
Oh yeah. You're literally going to Japan, turning around, coming back, and straight to Romania, aren't you? Literally like a day or two apart, or
about 12 hours between flights.
12 hours.
I've got to get back, pick them up and go.
So you're going to walk out of the airport straight back into it.
Weirdly, last time I went to Japan was exactly the same week, 20 years ago since I've been there. And the day I come back last time, I got on a plane and went to Morocco. It's just weird how it works. Exactly the same.
So you had a good Christmas, family and everybody, mate?
Brilliant, yeah. Everything been good, apart from me being an idiot, but that's just me. It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Excuse me.
I think we got away with it on the farm. It's always worrying when there's the odd day when there's no one there.
Yeah, to be fair, mate, I did think that. You know, when you sent like little bits and bats and you said you've got to go around all the ponds, all the filters, all the pumps, all the air pumps and everything to check over, I was like, oh, God, fingers crossed it comes back. Not a problem then. Everything gone sailing over.
Yeah, no, one cooked down. One of the air source heat pumps had cooked a plug, been on too much, and must have been. It's electrics are mad. So on that particular line, there's probably 10 plugs, and it wasn't like the second plug into the line. Obviously, wasn't such a good fit, and must have obviously got hot, arced a bit, and after X amount of weeks is enough just to fry the live pin or whatever.
Shit, that was lucky, mate. It could have been far worse, though, couldn't it? Really?
Yeah, it tripped the power out in that. Troubles the farm's in so many sections that section isn't alarmed. The whole lot is, and the shop is, but that's tripped out without tripping the mains trips. So there's no alarms gone, but one line's gone. But yeah, it's got backup stuff. It should, yeah, as long as you're checking every 12 hours, there should never be a problem. But Christmas and New Year are probably the 2 days of the year when
there's nobody. Well, it's quieter.
Yeah, it might not get checked for 24, 48 hours. And you can just guarantee that's when we've had problems in the past. And yeah, it's just sod's law, isn't it?
Well, I suppose that's not too bad, mate, in grand scheme of things, as long as there's been no losses and you haven't had any majors.
No, so far so good. But
how's the new Polyton build coming on then? Then you and Ezra were busy working at.
I've not been back at that today. I've had Tom's a customer friend of ours, so he's come over block laying, doing some filter chamber, some settlement chambers for me in one of the other tunnels that used to have drums running, but they were just too temperamental. So drums are gone.
You're going to go with a similar sort of thing as what you've got on the Monger Pond, and
it works. It's what we've always run before. We tried getting away with the drums, but you just can't without. Yeah, the water levels are so with gravity fed drums, it's just a pain. So as well as they work when you're on top of them, yeah, you can't be on top of that many ponds that well. So we just need systems that will just work.
Yeah, some of that's with minimal maintenance, but yet effectively good enough to do the job long term, so that you can just let it tick over.
Yeah, I mean the difference is obviously the settlement. Once a week, we might have to pull a valve on a drain. With a drum, it does a bit every hour or whatever. But it's just that automation that makes a drum good, also makes it vulnerable, especially with gravity fed. Because the problem with the gravity, as soon as you drop a bit of water out of the system, the drum's clean until the air are out. So you lose more water, and then they shut down, and you end up with a right pain. So, yeah. Is what it is, isn't it? The more simple we can make it all, it might not look so nice. But the thing with the drums as well, we found where we had 3 drums on one line, although when they kick in, they use like a kilowatt of power to clean. So your fuses or whatever, you might be quite well loaded up and they'll take it. But on the one situation when all 3 decide to clean
at the same time, you end up pulling too much power and then tripping stuff out.
Trips out the line, and then you're really at shit creek. So yeah, they're brilliant. We still got a couple running, but they're just not for the farm. just
the scale of what you're doing down there and how many you'd have all potentially that could end up running and kicking off at the same time, just not worth the hassle.
Basically, no. The farm's, I'd say, it's just the way it's been built and spread out, and yeah, we've had a few electric.
To be fair, Rick, it's probably something that's more evolved, hasn't it? From what it was adding throughout the years, and then some stuff that you've capped off and left for a good long while, and that you're going to be adding back again.
It's the basics of it, and it was never. It wasn't like let's buy a piece of land and make a fish farm. We've got this space here, we've got that bit there. What can we do here? What can we do there? And yeah, it just sort of spreads and grows. But the reality is a lot of the utilities weren't there. So we've had to put bits in and spare off bits, and just creates potential problems. But you got to work with what you got. And it's just, yeah.
So now then this will bring us on to one of his questions later on. But for you now then, as a first kickoff into 2025 of what is still very much winter, what is your process of going through stuff now through from winter and into spring to kick you off then for your next season? What will you be gearing up to get up ready to go? Because I know springtime's the spawn time and everything, they'll be starting to go from that when they're all geared and ready to go. But what do you have to do with a farm to get geared up ready for that prior to it?
Yeah. We've got to do all the winter jobs that need doing, all the improvements on the farm, the new tunnels, the new ponds, all the stuff we're doing. Because at the minute, both hatcheries have got tozai in overwintering, which can't stay there.
Yeah.
The breeding facility's got Tosei and Overwintering, so I've got 14 ponds of fish that have got to be moved by end of this month, so we can sterilise and clean out and get. So they've all got to move to new homes, and it's short.
Where the hell are all them going to go?
Well, we've got the space because we've got the main fish house that we can use is pretty much empty because we're doing so much revamping up there at the minute. So if I can get that finished, then I'll have probably 10 ponds up there to get them into. So that's fine. Got to get this little tunnel done for anything coming back from Japan, so it stays separate. Because I don't know what we'll be buying, where it'll be quarantined. So I need somewhere, if it's coming back, it's got to stay off the farm.
Yeah,
quarantined somewhere where I can heat ramp them, look after them, and if anything goes wrong, they're not on site as such. So it's just an added bit of fun, isn't it? Here he is, look.
There we go. Talking about you just said, where he is, Burning.
It must have been.
What were you saying?
I said Matt won't be on tonight. He's looking after his wife who's poorly. No,
and in you are. I bet is she sat upstairs in bedroom now watching us on the TV popping up out the bottom of the bed.
No, she's not. She's in the front room. But yeah, an hour ago she was on a drip and oxygen, and then they send you home because they need the bed.
Yeah. What's that? 3 nights she's been
weird.
Doing, it?
Rick was just saying about him building a new polytunnel for the all the stuff he's going to be buying with your wallet in Japan.
He's already doing his own polytunnel for his wallet.
Oh yeah, actually, how's that going? How's the polytunnel build gone? Is it up, done, and ready? Are you no?
Yeah, but somebody never gave me all the hints about building polytunnels and what order to do it in.
I'd give you plenty.
I mean, technically, he's built a few of them, mate, and put it on his channel. Like it's there to be seen by all. Bastardizing a lot.
What we did was built the ponds just because it worked out handy. The builders are free. Yeah, crack on, build the ponds, put the polytunnel up over the top. What I didn't think about was all the nuts and the bolts that you've got to do between the polytunnel and the pond. How the hell do you tighten anything up? And I've literally been sat there with a long pole with a ratchet, just a ratchet on the end of it. Gripple taped on, and I'm putting it down. And because of the amount of distance I can do at the top, it seems a lot. But when you actually come back, all you hear is 2 clicks. It's down, 2 clicks, down, 2 clicks. And of course, it keeps bouncing off the fucking nut as well. So if anybody had been down there today listening to me, all you would have heard in there was fuck this, fuck that, fucking wank, and all the rest of it.
So you've been doing your head in a little bit, then?
Yeah, definitely. I've spent a day and I've done 6 of the hoops. I've got another 4 to go.
And let me guess as well, you're doing it over top of ponds full of water.
One of them is, yeah.
Just to make it a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, which is ironic, the biggest one, the one that I've got to try and get over. So I'm literally walking down the side of the polytunnel, on the outside of the polytunnel, on the side of the pond, going down, and I'm holding the framework of the polytunnel, which is leaning in.
Stepping over, so you're holding, yeah.
All the way along, yeah.
You not thought about just grabbing a scaffold plank and putting it across pond?
I still got to get there to do the nuts. So I think tomorrow the way.
So you build your ponds and you're giving yourself 2 inches.
Yeah, give yourself 2 inches to play with.
Yeah. And you learn by your mistakes.
All right, then. We got a quick question there from Rob, who's asked, what would you recommend for a good biomedia from shower or chamber after alpha grog? I.e., I'm guessing by that, he doesn't want to use alpha grog. The next best one up from that.
Don't know, but I've just brought a load of K3 media stuff from All Pond Solutions to try it. It's like a
bigger circle block. Yeah.
So the grief we have, K1's great, but obviously you've got to have such sort of fine grids and filters to stop it escaping or whatever. So this is a bigger version. It's pretty cheap. comparison, I think it was, I don't know, it's about 25 quid for 50 litres delivered. So I've got some big old bags of it for not a lot of money, but let's see, I need the 2 little ponds I'm putting in a minute. They hold 400 litres of media each. The ponds only hold 800 gallons. So the filtration's like way over spec, but also I can do it. It's cheap enough to do it with that. And yeah, it looks.
What would be the comparison on something like that against the pumice stone then?
Well, because that's just literally just been typed in there by Jigs. Pumice is good.
I think that's what I would say. If you weren't going to go for the alpha grog, then go for the pumice stone.
I mean, the problem with the pumice stone's good in like trickle towers and whatever, but if you've got too much water going over it, it will grind up. If you've got any movement on it, whereas alpha grog won't. It's pretty rock hard, and Bacchias that's quite hard. But yeah, some of those crystal bio and the pumice stones, they're quite a soft, lightweight material.
Yeah, pumice tends to make a lot of dusty bits, doesn't it? From it breaks down.
When you buy a bag, because it grinds up, and also if you've got too much flow hitting some of it, it will grind against each other, and you'll find your filter slowly almost dissolves. So that's one downside with it. But in a trickle tower, it works as an absolute charm.
Right. Why do you want to use or not use the alpha grog then, Foxy?
Yeah, Rob, why do you not want to use the alpha grog, mate? What would be wrong with using your alpha grog? Or I'm guessing you've heard lots of people say that it's not the best, but I mean, to be fair, I've used it. I use it.
Well,
I don't have a problem with it. It's got a problem with it, haven't you? It's a lot heavier.
Yeah, it is heavy. It is a heavy product. It does have a lot of weight to it, to be fair.
Well, I stripped down one of the filters that's been running since we came here, so that's 3 years. And honest to God, it looks like the day I put it in there, apart from it's wet.
Yeah, I've got to admit, mate, I took mine out when I put mine's been in the one the little outdoor barrel one that I have, which is just a trickle tower. It's been in there now for 3 years. After the first year, I took it all out and give it a good clean and thought, there's nothing even on it. I mean, nothing much more than what a quick hose off. And oh my God, look at that for a box full of food.
It's just spotted him, he's off. I thought I might get away with a few of them. He'd left them out.
That's why I came down.
But I thought it'd be a case of it need a right good jet wash off or a rinse off, and there were next to no come out of it. So, all I've done is give it a stir around with my hand in top and just hose it down and through, and just left it as that. Opened up top and bottom and flushed it straight out. Runs clear within like 3 or 4 seconds of opening up my bottom. But I do have some filtering medias on the top of it beforehand, so yeah, that would be where most of my crap already gets pulled out before it even gets to the actual alpha grog. But he says he's trying to get more bio area.
Yeah, the thing is, it just depends on the type of. If it's a submerged chamber, trickle. What did he say? Did he say it was a trickle tower? He didn't, was it?
It didn't say what it's for.
You just got to be careful because I'll see something like the sinter glass type.
Oh, for a shower or a chamber, actually. For a shower or a chamber, I use it kind of cascading in a shower, and I also use it in a chamber too. But that's in conjunction with backhouse media too.
If you imagine on our ponds here, they're not so much now, but obviously in the summer, they're heavily stocked with fish. And I have no ammonia, no nitrite, and all I'm running is water straight over alpha grog, and that's it. So
yeah, you're sort of using drums before it goes through that. So you also put in, you've got no.
So the drums there is the mechanical side of it, but the biological side of it is only alpha grog, and that's it.
Yeah, but you're getting full coverage. You're inside, so you're not getting the debris. So you're putting literally just fish waste, crystal clear water over it. So yeah, they should stay clean and run the same as we run with whatever those balls, Litag type balls in the showers are. Same thing, that they're great surface area, but they're limited on usage. So, yeah, don't know. You could Crystal Bio. I mean, Crystal Bio is good. That's probably the next one up. It's a lot lighter, and it's probably got quadruple.
Is that the white sort of cylinder ball type ones?
No. It's more like your pumice stone you're talking about. It's like a very light honeycomb type stuff.
It's really light as well, isn't it? Right?
It is super light. Yeah, you've got to watch it because it will grind. It will grind, but it is super effective for a trickle setup.
Somebody said you were into grinding, though, Rick.
Eh?
Somebody said you were into grinding.
Oh, I love a bit of grinder.
There you go. I missed Dave's message there. Happy New Year, Rocket Boy. Thank you very much, bud.
Cheers, Dave. See you soon, mate.
CSM, Rob from Twisted there as well. Lebo's just said same there. First Christmas off in 2 years, a week in bed with a sickness bug, mate. That's exactly how I've been. Yeah, not good, mate. Both me and my wife have been absolutely felt like shit. I think it's the first day Marie's gone out today, and first day I've gone out today since leaving for work. Leaving work for Christmas period. But yeah, not good. Pumice is good because I know Ryan uses pumice from Exclusive with Koi, but he uses it as with sponge filter media first, and then through pumice shower and back and returns. And that's all their filter systems are. Simple, quick, easy to clean, and pull them out, change them over, put a new one in, clean them off, sort of that kind of thing. So, they stick with a simple product that works well. So,
yeah, he uses more like trickle towers.
Yeah, it is. It is a trickle tower system, but that's what he was looking for both shower and chamber. So if there you go. I mean, that's pumice is another good one. A couple of them. Just come back with shitloads more paracetamol and ibuprofen because I still feel crap. Re-top back up again. And then what would be a good for a static or for a chamber? Saying like you were saying there with the, what was it?
The K-free stuff.
K-free.
I don't think you could knock that for.
Is that K-free stuff about that big?
Yeah, it's about the size of a 2p round thick, and it's
but it's about 1.5 centimeters in thickness, kind of, with the hexagony shape on the inside of it all filled in. Yeah, I've got that in mine with K1 plus that in my moving bed, and that does a really good job. To be fair, well, not had a problem yet. Anyway, so
yeah, I think you could use it in a moving bed, but more so in a. I've bought it for using in a. Like a static chamber where it's going to be going through, but it's so lightweight that it's easy to clean, it's easy to move the filters and whatever. You haven't got the weight. Well,
initially, it was something that does give me, and I was going to take all the bigger stuff out and just use the smaller stuff. And when I started going through it and realised just how much we're in there, I thought, shit, there's a hell of a lot of that. There's not much more meat. That's probably about 50% of it as that stuff. So I just thought, sod it, I'll put it all in, see what it does. And then I ended up with plenty and a little bit spare to pass on. But yeah, there we go. So what's the thoughts on Oasis Bio chips? Are those like those crisp type disc things, I'm guessing?
Yeah, we've got them in some of the filters, but I don't know.
The problem is that it is, I don't know. Because nobody's ever sat there and been able to do what you did, like with your fire and have 5 or 6 different filter medias running the system with the same amount of ammonia going over, the same order flow, and say, yeah, that one there cracked Newpont syndrome quickly, and I can now put in such an amount of ammonia and it's gone within 2 days, where this one here takes 4 days and this one here takes 6 days.
Yeah, if you, it's like Claude just I said, there was a pond pads, high surface area. Anyone have thoughts on them? Same thing. I think that's what the other gentleman was talking about. biochips. I'm guessing what Mark was just saying there. They both asked the same kind of question. I think if you got that and just purely that, then you could say whether or not it's any good, couldn't you? But if you've got it mixed in with K1, K2, or K1 plus or whatever, or the micro, a whole caboodle of all sorts of different stuff in there, how do you really know which one's doing?
They're not. They'll all be. The thing is, they're all
doing it together, aren't they?
To the saying that they all house bacteria, they all just do it. They've only got X amount of surface area, but
those disc ones are supposed to have a large surface area, though. They're supposed to be massive, isn't it? That surface.
They
area.
are, but how do you get them to all work? They don't some stacks of Pringles, do they?
They're all just rattling around everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah. So you probably don't get as many in. The beauty of K1 itself is you get a shitload in a meter cubed fluid bed or whatever you're doing, and you can get it all working. It's all touching the water. It's all moving. As soon as you do something sort of static, you can get dead spots or you get areas that aren't really doing stuff. Every filter's got its place, but some are just a lot better than others. But you need to work out what you're trying to achieve, what footprint you got, what budget you got. If you're going to run good mechanical filter in front of something, or you're going to be using that as part of it, or I don't think there's. If there was one that was just the best one, then there'd only be one on the market, really, wouldn't there? But there's loads, and everyone's pond's different. We still got customers that have got bloody pea shingle, massive pea shingle filters, and they're brilliant. But then every 2 years, someone's got to go and dig this lot out and clean them out, and they're okay for what they do, but they're not ideal for a koi pond, are they? But if that's what you got, that's what you got. They work.
Well, someone just went for a shit then, didn't it? What do you just knocked up there?
Fidget spinner.
Oh, is that? Well, that was what you had in your hand. Susan said, hey guys, my vet came round to my pond on the 19th of December. Still waiting on some test results, though, to see what is going on in my pond. And then she's added there, had to euthanize 4 koi that day. He gave me antibiotics injections, which I've had to give every 3 days to the koi that are still sick, but it seems to be working. Brilliant. That's what we want to hear. I'm glad. Fingers crossed, hopefully. Now, the worry then is, for me, and I'm not, because, right, those fish, and we've spoke about this before, haven't we, Matt? Yourself as well with some of your customers. Yeah. You've had that done. You've had your fish treated. You've cured them fish of said infection. But then what? Are you limited then to ever being able to add something else in there in case that fish then fires up with it because the others are still carriers but immune? Or should that necessarily be the end of everything and that should be it?
It's definitely the risk there, but you can mitigate some of it. And the cost of the fish that you're going to be adding in there is going to be a big part of it as well. If you're going to buy some expensive fish to put in there, me personally, no, I wouldn't. But
it's tricky, isn't it? Because you get
nails fish.
You get some people that get away with it, have a problem. It's they fish, those that survive. 6 months later, you add more fish. Simon up north, he took a test off me.
Exactly.
I said, test this fish is going to be an absolute, if anything's going to go down, this little show is going to be the first one. No, I've never had a problem again. And it's like that turned into a lot of rarity, but that's fine. A lot of the time it'll rumble on. But also if you're using antibiotics and you clear it with antibiotics, you should be in a better place thereafter than just letting the fish deal with it themselves. But it's always going to be in the back of your mind. And I think the way to deal with that then is if you buy new fish, again, have a quarantine set up. You put them in the separate place. You can take a fish from your pond, introduce them, whatever, and at the end of the day,
see if it triggers it in the new fish.
Do it with a couple of new fish.
Nailing all the fish.
Yeah, or just do it with a couple and give them 6 months, and obviously you build your confidence up to whether you can get whatever or not. What the problem is, as the pond matures, it might get. But it was a new ponding, wasn't it? That she had some old fish that had a problem and had a new pond, and there's probably a combination of things have made it worse and taken so long to deal with. But every single situation's slightly different. But
Well,
It does,
even down to
it does surprise me when, especially when you hear how people might go on about, chat shows and stuff like this, and what you do and what you can do and what we should do, and the advice that people give on programs like what we do and YouTubers do. To hear how some people, even when they think they're experts, can still go out there and lose absolutely every single fish that they've had in their own collection, but then still claim to be superior koi keepers, does a bit of an eye-opener for some people. Sometimes we all make mistakes, which is something we all need to learn from, but it would be kettle calling the pot for some people that don't listen to their own advice, which is why we've always said it from the very beginning, that if we can do something and help others, that's what the whole show's about, to put content out there to help wherever possible. And never has it been said that any of us are all experts. We just give an opinion and we try to help where we can. But it's sickening to see someone that has to go through as much as what Susan has and what we've seen other people throughout, 2023, 2024. Let's just hope that 2025 doesn't have any more and we don't hear of any other people that are going through a similar sort of thing, and they can hopefully keep this bacteria that's been going around, because it has been a particular, I don't know if they've all been the same strain, but there's been a lot of very similar things for people, haven't there? Ulcerations, mouth rot, anal fins, the back passage that seems to be rotting out from the fish, and then ulcerations coming up everywhere. It does seem like it's been very, very similar for a lot of people. Whether or not it's been the same exact bacteria, what I don't know, or just the results are the same. But it's been a trying year, or trying couple of years for a lot of people, hasn't it? It's not been a good time.
It's been going on ever since I've ever touched koi. 30 years. I've been seeing the symptoms are the same. The strains of bacteria are the same. Husbandry's got better. It's become less of an issue. But I think when you introduce it, the outcome is pretty much the outcome.
It's how it's so rapid. Matt, you've seen it. You've seen it, Rick. I've seen it. It's how fast it is. And obviously Susan's seen it now. Obviously, one thing you do wrong, and that's it. Within a few weeks, all your stock can look like a complete mess in a matter of no time at all. And it seems it's a long. You see, the thing with them, unless if you are heated, the process is made a little quicker. But if you're not heated, it's a long time for a fish to heal up from something such as that, and never ever will look the same again, will they? They don't. It never comes back completely gone, does it?
Generally not.
Unnoticeable. You'll end up with damaged patches of scales looking, uneven, all that kind of thing. But that's if you're lucky. Some of them might not ever come back from it at all.
Funny thing is, this year as well, on the KHV, we've had one of the lowest, or 2024 was one of the lowest of KHV confirmations in the UK.
Yeah. I think
the temperature's not made it high enough to trigger it most people.
Such a crap year. Is KHV triggered at more of a higher temperatures, warmer waters and warmer conditions?
Generally warmer conditions.
That's one of the reasons why we're obviously heat ramping, because you want to get up to those temperatures.
You want to push that out of them.
To get that level of stress, so the KHV comes out of them, along with other things, obviously. But yeah, that's heat ramping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my air source heat pump, I'm heat ramping my tunnel.
You were nearly heat ramping it in a far bigger way.
It's mad. The temperature swings, they go through it. Those fish do not care. Literally, yeah, they'll go from 24, then we might have a cold spell, whatever, and it'll drop down within 12 hours. It might be down to 19, and they're still climbing out of the water. And then warm sun comes out, it all kicks off, back up to 24. Absolutely no bother at all. People worry about moving a fish 1 degree or whatever, and then the fish, they're used to an environment. It's not an issue for them.
You were talking about swings over there, weren't you? About how they're going up and they're going up and down. My pond's been at about 7.5 to 8.5 for the last 2 to 3 weeks. Last night it dropped to -4 here, and my pond's gone down to 4.5 today.
It's nuts, isn't it? How
literally overnight. The night before, nowhere near. Got up this morning, full frost everywhere, lawn frozen. You know where water splashes onto your netting? All that's like little icicles all hanging down off of it. So what's returning back in splashed onto it, but yeah, 4.5 degrees, man. But still swimming around, still cruising about. Double-hard Yorkshire bastards.
Must be getting used to it, aren't they?
Well, I tell you what, mate. Honest to God, the most ones that are swimming around are the British-bred ones. Stuff from you, stuff from Daz's farm, just still cruising around. I mean, it's only 2 weeks ago. Well, just the first couple of days after I were off for Christmas, the pond were up at 9.5 degrees, and I thought I'm stood down at the bottom of the pond. They all come down to the bottom of the pond. They're all sucking outside, and I thought I just give them a little bit, just a small little handful, just threw them it, and that were it, man. Both, all of them were in there, rushed in, had a few. Fortunately, day after it was still nice and warm, and still warm at day after. And I thought, well, I don't want to keep giving them too much just in case, so I'll just leave them be. And then as I'm back out in garden again, a couple of days later, they're back down there doing it again. I thought, oh, I'll give you a little bit more then. But they haven't had out since then because it's cooled off again. But they've been fine with it. But yours, the ones that I've got from your farm, are literally swimming down bottom of the pond, coming up to the side of the pond, coming up to the top, especially the Karashigoi, that one, coming up, sucking outside at pond as if to say, well, it's food, mate. But you get to that point where you're thinking, if it drops overnight again and then it gets as cold as that and they've got food inside them, then is that going to be a good thing? So I held off. But yeah, there's certainly a lot more. The others all stacked up a little bit. But there's all the fish that I've had that have been bred over here in the UK, all a lot more active than the fish that I've got that are from Japan. But those are newer fish. So I suppose there could be a bit of that to it as well.
Just getting used to it, and there's no difference really. But I just love the way you go, we come up to all that balmy 9.5 degrees. It's like,
well, they did. That's what surprised me though. They did go quite quick on food for, well, you know, to say we're at 9.5 degrees, I thought, I didn't expect them to come up that fast. I thought maybe they'll, you know, slow pace kind of thing, but they didn't. And they were all gone within like 4 or 5 seconds. I thought, shit, that's pretty quick. They ate that pretty fast.
There you go.
But not like summer craziness, how they would do when it's a nice red hot day, but still surprised me way more than what I expected them to do. I thought they'd probably odd one or two come up and take it. I only threw like maybe 20 odd pellets on. And I thought, well, just see how they react to it. And yeah, we're gone in seconds.
Ravenous.
Well, yeah, but that's what made me think, crap, do they need a bit more? Because maybe they're hungry. But yeah, then if you go too far, then you're in a little more trouble, aren't you? Koi pox. Got a Deutz Achiba that is riddled with it. Achibas are quite bad for koi pox, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, some Chagoi, Ochibas, they seem to get it bad and you can't. Horrible to shift it. Yeah. And unfortunately, temperatures, you're the only thing that really is going to move it. And it's the one thing, ain't a lot you can do about it. Salt can have a slight benefit, but.
I've one of my customers got some biggest fish. They must be 50 to 60 cm. And he's gone through the whole of the summer, and every single one of them is absolutely plastered and carp pox. And it got worse as the summer has gone on, and they're still like it to this day. And those fish have been, it must be 8 years that he's had them, not bought any more fish in there. It's just all of a sudden outbreak, and they've kept it all the way through the summer and kept getting worse.
I've had it, Matt. I bought one that had nothing on it when I got it in the summer. It were perfectly fine. I've mentioned this a few times, but it was a tiny little carp pox that come on its dorsal fin, just a tiny little, just at the side of it. And I was like, what's that? Took a picture of it, of the fish, took it back to shop and said, here, what's this? And he went, it's carp pox, mate. What do I do with it? He says, there's nothing really you can do. Summer heat, it should probably, you know, and then fish should probably grow out of it. Second year afterwards, what was a small little bit had turned into 3/4 of fish, completely covered in it. everywhere. And in end, I'll be honest, in the end, I culled the fish because it was inside its mouth. Its mouth were all, instead of it having a mouth that should have been kind of like that size, its mouth were like that because there were that much carp pox around its lips. It were into its gills, under its gill plates. It couldn't close its gills properly. So in the end, I sedated it. So, but it was bad.
There's nothing you can do about it. And like, yeah, if you go down and look in some of the sheds, if you look through them, you probably find a few wood carp pox. It doesn't mean that my tanks are bad. Every single carp has carp pox, and it's a bit like our herpes or cold sores.
It's also what's the thing? What we're going to say? Passes on. It's a virus that spreads to fish, depending on their immune system. If they've got a weaker immune system or they get a weaker immune system, they tend to come out with it.
Yeah, it's just it is pain in the ass, but yeah, they tend to a lot of time tend to see it in first time in Nisai, and then they have it and they never have it again. But yeah, you get some fish that just seem to perpetuate. You get there must be different strains of it because I've seen people's ponds that have it that just lots of fish have it and they can't seem to shift it. It seems to be a particularly more aggressive strain perhaps, but technically doesn't do them any harm. It just looks rank, doesn't it?
Or the other question is that particular pond, the water quality not particularly good, which is causing more stress, which is causing the immune system to be weaker on those fish. Could be more loads of things.
But yeah, it's like any chance there's hundreds of strains of colds, any virus, isn't there? So yeah, I don't know. Some people suffer worse of it. Some fish get it. Some other fish never seem to get it. Temperature is for 99% of fish get it over 17 degrees and it will just disappear. But there's always one stubborn bugger that.
Yeah, it's funny though how it does seem to be, like you said, with the achievers. Achievers are I've seen a lot of it on achievers. It's quite common, isn't it? But there are other fish that are more susceptible, especially doits.
Yeah, ottibers are the worst. Chags and ottibers are the ones you send sit on that get it bad and have it a long time. But yeah, different other strains of fish have different problems. It's just part and parcel, isn't it? The genetic, what we do to make them look like they do, you weaken someone else somewhere else.
Just posting that in there, guys. Just had a quick message there from Ryan Stoddart. Big shout out. Evening, mate. Wishing everyone a happy new year. Cheers, bud.
Is he back
Crafty is taking his daughter back down towards London, so I don't think he'll be joining us this evening. So safe travels, mate. Hope you get there and back well.
Speak to you later, mate. He's still
yeah, cat pox, yeah.
All these auctions on WhatsApp and whatever. What's people's opinion? There's a lot of God.
To me, it's a simpler way to do it, so that somebody doesn't have to be in front of the TV. And they can do it mobile. So yes, the idea of an auction on WhatsApp, mobile, you can be there, be involved in it wherever you are. I think it's a good idea. So,
I just think this is. I think on YouTube where you're doing it live and there's interaction, there's a big element of learning. There's a big element of the whole thing is quite an enjoyable experience.
Yeah,
and I enjoy watching different ones on YouTube, different people doing them, and it's quite a nice. The ones like on WhatsApp where it's here's a fish, put your bids in, you got 5 minutes. I get why people do it, but there isn't any. It's just you could go on a website and buy someone's fish or whatever, and it hasn't got that interaction. It hasn't got. I don't know.
Yeah, but Ricky, perhaps the people that are doing it aren't showmen.
But I can get that. But your ear. I can understand it. See, right. we spoke. It's funny that you should mention this, but we actually spoke about this the other night, and I think if you haven't got a platform, then you need a platform with an audience. So to want to do it from fresh, let's say new company, new beginnings, starting off doing what they want to do. They want to get into auctioning some fish. How do you go about it on YouTube? Because to get to 1,000 on YouTube, before you can become monetized, before you can have enough people, because even with 1,000 subscribers, you might only get 50, 60 people tune in. You've got to get an audience to come and, whoa, who done that?
You turned it off. Yeah, but that's
Elizabeth, 1999. What's the coldest temperatures we've stopped? Thank you very much, Elizabeth. I didn't even notice your question, and there's not only as I did not notice your question, you've even put in a super chat for 1999. Thank you very much. I shall come straight back to it.
Hey, you paid it, we'll be back to you.
Well, it's literally just come in. I didn't even see it, didn't even hear it come up. Hang about, we'll come back to it. Let's bring this up now. What are the coldest temperatures koi can withstand, and what should the pond water parts per million be at during winter? Happy New Year, Gaz, and the koi community. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. You are an absolute star. So there we go. What are the coldest temperatures a koi can withstand? Well, I can tell you this much. They can withstand 4.5 degrees, because mine are doing it right now. But should they be? Probably not. What is the coldest they can go down to, Rick?
The 4 degrees is that magic number in it. So every single carp anywhere where you have temperatures where ponds freeze, the bottom's 4 degrees. That's just physics. That's what happens. So every carp on the planet that is in a normal unheated environment where a pond freezes, 4 degrees is the water, which is that they'll top most. Some koi varieties really don't like it. Most carp will tolerate 4 degrees. You drop below sort of 2 degrees when you're moving water and creating that fluid slush effect. 2 degrees is you're in deep trouble.
I'm laughing a bit because remember that year when you were telling me the story that it was your ponds were turning into slush.
We had ponds outside that obviously between the showers, obviously when they're moving, everything's been exposed, and the fish were literally going physically not frozen but almost like stiff, and it's because you're basically creating an environment that's below what it would naturally be if you switched everything off. And obviously you get caught out sometimes when you're running setups and you have a -10 night with you can get in that situation. People do kill them. I said I went to one when I went to visit Gary over Gatwick one day. I popped into a customer's pond that phoned me up saying all my fish are just dead. And I went round there and they're all lead on the bottom of his pond. He goes, they're all right yesterday swimming round, today they're dead. Massive stainless steel blade. It was so cold, everything's frozen solid, but this pond's still churning over. Put the fish in a bag, put them in my car to see, so I could take one back to the farm and have a look. By the time I got to Gary's, it's swimming around like absolutely fine. And I'm like,
I saw that last year.
And it's like, those fish were in a temperature that was just, beyond.
She'd got several chags and what have you, and they'd all gone down to the bottom and laid over flat on the sides, and she netted them out, and it was by chance when she looked at and netting them out that she thought she saw a gill move, so she put them in and took them in and put them in a gorilla tub in the kitchen and let the water temperature come back up, and they all come back round.
So, they will go to that sort of dormant state, but you go into realms.
How long can they stay like that?
No, it will kill them, innit? They're just going into thermal shock. Some fish will die earlier than others. You might have a ghostie or a chagoi that survive, whereas your Sankin Kahaku won't or whatever. But realistically, 4 degrees is the lowest you want to ever let them go down to. And that's easier than it said. If it was really cold, if you switch it off, it will naturally be 4 degrees down the bottom. That's just what water does. That's kind of why things survive, isn't it?
So for me now then, like that at 4.5 degrees, would you advise switching pumps off and leaving it to stop it cooling it down anymore?
No, turn on the heating gas. Not stop it.
The Depends on your type of
Depends on
filtration.
yours.
You turn it on and off. Obviously, if your filtration, when you turn a pump off, if it all drains but stays wet, then it's not a problem.
My full system's designed to stay completely submerged and can be aerated to keep it alive and turning over. I can switch my pump off to stop it circulating, but still keep everything moving and turning over.
Yeah, most people haven't got that luxury. They've either got a shower filter you turn off, the bacteria are going to survive fine. When it's cold, you probably get away with it in like chamber type filters. You know, they stay full of water. They basically deoxygenate quite quickly, but obviously the lower the temperature, the less that's going to happen. So everything's different. If you can keep your filters running, I'd keep them running all the time. But you do get in a window of waterfalls, those blades, anywhere you're exposing that water to really cold temperatures, you are starting to run that risk of, slush puppy in them.
Yeah.
And it does happen. You know, we don't get it in this country, especially down here. We don't. But where you are, seems like
we was watching it. I was ribbing Aaron a little bit today, but it's like I said what temperature were in this group chat, and Aaron were like, "Damn, that's cold." I'm like, "Surely to God, it must be that cold where you are over, Humber, with the East Coast. You'd think probably, but it was 8.8 degrees, like 4 degrees higher than what I am. But I mean, it's cold
so much
here.
different.
And I've said it time and time again, haven't I? It's stupid cold here.
Geography of the ground as well, because at the moment outside we're at -4.5 degrees.
Yeah,
already. And I bet Rick won't even go down to that tonight.
It's because my body heat, mate. We get away with it. We're right on the coast, aren't we? So we're generally getting warmth from the sea, still 10 degrees or whatever, isn't it? So it's always a bit warmer. I don't think the sea ever drops below 10 degrees, is it?
The sea.
Here, I don't think the sea ain't the coldest.
Not in the yeah.
About 10. Gets to summer and 10 in the winter, isn't it? It doesn't do a lot. But yeah. What were we chatting before? I've totally lost that.
Well, what we were saying just before, as we were saying before, and was talking about WhatsApp groups, and how we were saying about whether or not it's like we were talking about this the other night. Now, if you've not got, like we were saying, an audience, like for me, if I were to do a live, I can do a live, and I know I'm going to get some people coming on. Somebody's going to come and watch. At present, we've got like 123 people, 124. So you've got an audience that you can put them out to. But if you're a new business and you're a new starter and you thought, right, I want to use social media as a platform to push it out on, then unless you've got a lot of followers, because even with 2,400 followers, I've only got 124 other people watching. That's only a small percentage of what you've got of total followers. So somebody that's starting up a business new, like for example, I hope you don't mind Marcus, but we'll say, Marcus's new business that he's starting to do. If he wanted to go out there and put that out there and put it on YouTube, well, the likelihood is if you were to do a live, which you can't do till you get to 500. Well, I don't know actually. I don't know if that's right or not anymore. They used to be able to. You didn't unlock the live or the community until you hit the 500 mark. So you need to get to certain categories first before you can go live. Some people, like when Aaron tried to go live, he couldn't do a live at all without contacting YouTube and I'm looking into his system to find out why it wouldn't work for him. But how do you get a market of people there to watch you on a platform like this without a background behind it, if you want to start doing auctions and such, or already having a name and hope that your clientele that join you online because you advertise it and market it a bit so that people come and watch? Whereas with something like WhatsApp, it's easier, isn't it? Because most people have got 200 or 300 mates that were in the koi scene that are already friends that they can just add to a group in the hope that it then spreads from their friends to their friends to their friends. Before you know it, you have a couple of thousand people in a group. Well, far faster than what you could do with this type of platform. That was what I was thinking.
I think the problem's going to find with the WhatsApp group, so is that everybody is doing it. You see one pop up every single day that somebody's done. Actually, I've seen 2 today come up live. If you've joined every single WhatsApp, you can't watch every single one of them. So you get into the realms of what you were just saying then with 2,500 followers, and you've only got 124 people on there. It's going to be exactly the same, whatever you do.
Yeah, but you see, to me, I mean, when you look at it like that, I like to keep my phone neat and tidy. Me, when I finish the conversation with you, it's gone. Poof.
Rude.
Yeah, I know.
That's why you keep deleting all my messages. That's it. Finish that conversation.
I do, and then I think sometimes I go back and think, bollocks, I needed something off that message, and then I've got to do that thing where I like old maid in shame and go, I'm sorry, I deleted your message. What were your postcode again? But it's at the end of the day, we shouldn't feel like we can't delete something in the first place, but that's besides the point. I think it's difficult, man. There's lots and lots and lots of new people doing it. And there's lots of other people doing it. I think one company starts doing something, everybody goes, oh, I've got to jump on that bandwagon because everybody else is doing it. Because inevitably you're losing out of sales, aren't you? Because that niche.
Yeah, but my issue is, are you losing out? It's one of them. I don't know. I was strange. I love the YouTube ones because you're face to face with people.
I prefer it that way, mate, too.
You know who you're buying from. It's out there, isn't it? It's not hiding behind. It's almost like going back to the bad old days when people will go to a dealer and those fish are a price at the dealers that are ridiculous for what they're buying them for, but they're not advertised anywhere. That's what they're just buying them. Oh, that tank there, yeah, super special. That's £1,000, and it's a bit cloak and dagger and all the rest of it because it's groups. There's certain groups I've tried to get into, not welcome, can't get into them. They're doing auctions, but you can't go on them, and it's like, well, why? Surely, the more visible it is, like websites, you've got your fish there. They're that much money. If you've got social media, they can see you in Japan buying them, where they've come from, what they're worth. It's all above board. But yeah, like the days when you used to go to dealers and those fish, these are super, super expensive. They're this amount of money. And someone else goes there and they're a different price. And that all gets a bit, that sort of shadiness going on again. There's some weird.
Yeah, I can agree with that, mate. I mean, it's like you're saying there with the not being able to enter a market in a sense for sales for some reason or another. But you know, there's a way around that, don't you?
Yeah, but it's not. I'm not even. It's just the way the industry sort of goes. I think the way it's gone quite transparent the last few years with YouTube, with websites where you can see people's stock.
Yeah.
What cost?
Picture and a video.
You can go on someone else's website and see a 3-year-old fish from the same farm of a similar quality. You get an idea. That's £1,000. That's 1,200 quid. Oh, that one's £7,500. You're like, well, hang on. Is it worth £7,500? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But it's all there for people to see. But then suddenly all these pop up quick. You've only got 10 minutes to buy this amazing fish. People start buying fish. Just, I don't know. It's
so what you're saying, Rick, I'll tell a story which I probably told you anyway, which will put light onto what happens on WhatsApp and a few of the auction sites, in my opinion. So a dealer was asked on his visit to Japan, would he look out for a particular fish that he was interested in? Had to be this sex, had to be this variety, had to be roughly this size, and roughly what sort of pattern he was looking for. And his budget was £4,000 for the fish. So £4,000, you're going to get yourself a half decent fish. The dealer went over there and he was looking at a variety of different fish, saw one that matched it, bought it, sent him a video. The customer liked it, and he was going to come over and he said, it's up to you whether you buy it. If you don't want it, I'll just put it in the shop and I'll sell it anyway. So the guy came over and looked at it in the shop and it was for sale. And he said, well, the good news is it ain't £4,000. It's only £3,100. And that customer then started looking at the fish and he was like, there's just something about it that I don't particularly like and I can't work out what it is. Would you mind if I left it? And the dealer said, no, that's fine. You know, I always said that I was going to put it in the shop anyway. And he said, his last words were to him was, well, if you do particularly find one, let me know because I'd definitely be interested in it. About 6 weeks later, the customer, phoned him up and said, I've actually found the fish of my dreams. Yeah, I've had to pay over the top for it. It's actually cost me $6,500, but I love the fish. It's exactly what I wanted. He said, hang on, I'll send you a video, sent it over, and that fish that he had just paid $6,500 was the same fish that was 3,200. The dealer had moved it on, and he liked it only because of the cost. He thought he was getting good fish because of the value of that.
God, yeah.
And I bet that happens a lot.
There is that. That is going to
I'm not
be.
sure that goes with WhatsApp auction, but
There'll always be an element of that, though, isn't there? That's coy snobbery. Somebody thinks, look, right, I have a Ford Fiesta. You might have a Mercedes. Rick might have an Audi. Right? We can all travel on the roads at exactly the same speed. Yes, yours might be slightly more comfortable, and your car probably costs 4 times the value of mine. But at the end of the day, they all get you from A to B. Does it really matter what the price is? But that could be the same about clothing, could be the same about designer labels, perfumes, aftershaves, you name it. People follow what they believe to be the best.
Yeah, you're always going to get some of that, and obviously you'll get farms that are more in vogue at a different time, or better names, or the demand. The trouble is, you know, take Dainichi for example. They're amazing, right? No getting away from it. But there is only one Dainichi koi farm. Okay, forgetting to it, but realistically, there's the one name, that one, and everyone in the world that keeps koi that's got any money is going to want a Dainichi fish in their pond.
I mean, I've got one. It's wank.
Yeah, but that's so suddenly you've got a demand from however many millions of koi keepers. That farm is, you know,
just been
quite a lot of them, to be fair, and they vary all over the place. But it depends on what you pay for them. You know, it's just they've all automatically going to sell all their fish for a lot more money than the next.
Yeah, because but they've got that clout behind them, haven't they? They've got that.
But that's branding, also, you know, producing.
Yeah, it is. That's down to marketing, Rick, isn't it? Regardless, I mean, how much different really are the fish, really, in the grand scheme of things? I know that I'm not saying they're not. There is a difference, obviously, but
only
when you start thinking now about most of Dainichi's bloodline is in most of the other dealers' bloodlines.
Yeah, but the difference is it's not just. That's not what you say. The top end ones are generally going to be that much better from the numbers of fish they do, from the quality of parent fish and the way they can look after them. You're buying a product that's.
But that's why
good as you're going to be bad to buy, aren't you? Also,
the element into what you're paying for there is size of the premises, the costing that they've got, and everything that they need to be able to produce like they do. It's all part of the package, isn't it? I mean, Dainichi is massive, isn't it? It's absolutely huge.
It's become, yeah. Seriously, 20 years ago, when I was sat having dinner with one of the brothers, they were in a sort of a bit of a downturn after Dad had died and whatever. They were rebranded. They've rebranded and come out monster, like monster.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be an element of that, and perhaps there should be. Everyone perhaps should have a Dainichi fish in their pond, whether it's good or bad or whatever their opinion of that fish is. The trouble is, you might have one in your pond that's crap. Is a 20 centimeter cheap fish. You know, the next person's buying a Sanzai for 15 grand. It's a totally different.
So, how many, say, Kahaku's Dainichi, how many would they hatch?
Well, a lot.
Yeah, really, I mean, they're probably known mostly for their showers. If they say they've probably got 10 main shower lines, so they're probably doing 5 million, hatching 5 million showers a year, possibly more. They're big fish, could well be more than that. So, you know, it's a lot. So they're starting with 10 of the best parent fish available and having 5 million fish from them. It's off the scale numbers. And then the facilities they've got to get the best out of those fish, to be able to cull them down, and then just that's what you're paying for, the sort of skill of that. But the smaller you buy them, the cheaper they are, because they're fish that they haven't taken them as much, but they're obviously ones they're willing to get shot off. So what they're buying is.
Yeah, but they're not letting them go. They know you don't get to that level now, do you? Without knowing. It's like everybody says, oh, there's always that chance that one's going to slip through. They don't, do they?
Not really, no, because that's the point.
They know what they're doing. They've been doing it for freaking decades.
Yeah, they know what they're keeping. So at the end of the day, every time they cull them, to start with, they're all being dumped. But once they start getting through to a point where they're of a size and they start selling them, yeah, you're buying their cast-offs, so they can then give the next lot and the next lot and next lot best, best ponds, the best everything to really make those top end fish flourish.
Not saying that
every single farm will do that to a point that you can't.
They've got to do, haven't they?
Can't not, depending on
they've
the
got
variety.
To cater for all markets as well, aren't they? Really?
They do, but you might have a farm that literally sells everything that's toe-side. You might have they don't grow stuff on, so you might better go there and get stuff that turns out good when you grow it on. It might be a pile of crap when you grow it on. If you haven't got that history behind it, so there's always gems out there and there's always trash out there and everything in between, isn't there? That's where someone that knows what they're looking at can do better. So you can have two dealers go out to Japan for a week and one come back with some absolute magic stuff and another come back with stuff that he's paid over the top for and he's now got to sell for a lot more money than it's worth because they're only buyers the same as anyone else, aren't they? That's just coy. There is no way around that. Not that I know of.
There, Ryan says there, bring back the traditional way of buying websites or visit your koi dealer.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, we kind of semi-slipped away from your original bit into another. We do that quite a lot, don't we?
I think that WhatsApp sales stuff is literally your website. I don't quite get it because there's no interaction. You're putting a fish on there. Most people are putting a fish on there at a starting price, somewhere at the minimum they're going to take for that fish. In the shop, wherever they're selling it, they might want X amount more for it. It's just getting rid of stock at a little bit less than you might sell in the shop. You might get a little bit more for something.
That's what I think. Yeah, I think sometimes, the whole side of auction things sometimes can. Let's face it, most of us think of an auction as being somewhere you're going to get a bargain, but it's not, and it shouldn't be, and it never has been. And if we go back, how long auctions have been going on for, there's always been a reserve. So people let's say for example, you wanted to take a Welsh dresser, some of the finest craftsmanship within it, blah, 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 and it's worth 2.4 million. But the owner of the piece he's got a reserve on it at 1.2 and he's not going to let it go for any less than that. And the way the bids go, blah, 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 before you know it, it's up over the 2.4, 3.2, 4.6, whatever. And some massive sale comes out of it. But it's not always the case when it seems to be with koi. A lot of things when people are bidding on koi, you'll get those first initial bids where somebody thinks, well, it's quiet now, nobody's bid. I'm going to stick in a cheeky bid there and put in 50, 60 quid. And then there's nothing for ages. And then all of a sudden, some other people come in 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. And you think, wow, that fish has pushed up way more than what it would have done if you'd have gone to the shop and bought it.
Yeah. Because people are sitting there and they're watching others bid. And because others are bidding, they have this perspective that, shit, that fish must be as good as...
Is it as good as what I thought it was, or is it better than what I thought it was?
Exactly.
I think you can get caught up in the hype of it.
A lot of them don't go. They don't. A lot of them don't go that high, though, do they? If you know,
no. I'm just saying. I'm just giving an example. Not all right. Let's say what we've seen as an average fish going at knee side, toe side, a couple of £100. What would you buy them average fish like that in a shop?
It depends on what shop you go to, doesn't it? This is where it gets all a bit crazy. And obviously, if you've got, say, Ryan doing an auction, he's got good name, he's got Lee with him. Everyone needs someone backing to get the numbers of people. The more people we got watching, the higher those fish are going to go. Necessarily the same level of fish. If you've got 2,000 people watching, that same fish will go for more money than if you've got 1,000 people watching generally, because you've got extra demand. People do get carried away. From most of the auctions I watch, most of the fish go below what their retail.
What you think, the retail value of the shop would be.
But if you're moving stock and you've got stock that you've like Matt will have stock and he'll be like, shit, I'm going to Japan in a month. I need a pond free. Let's get rid of 100 fish. The minimum I'll take for these fish just to clear my money back is X amount. They can go on and I'll get money. I might not make as much as I would, but I've now got a pond free. I've got money to spend back in Japan. That's where people get a bargain, because they're getting fish a lot lower than they would from the shop. But, you know, if it's something you're after, you might get it, you might not. But then some of them get put. I get their place. I'm not saying, and I think I welcome them. I'm just saying I think the WhatsApp ones are crap compared to YouTube.
For me, Rick, for me, I wouldn't. Sorry, guys, but I wouldn't buy, and I won't buy on an auction like that on WhatsApp. I'd rather go either to the shop, and if I were going to do it, I'd rather be able to watch it and be involved in the auction to see a good video, hear a little bit about the fish, the dealer, the breeder, the blah, 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 you know, a little bit of that show and tell about the fish as well. To me, I prefer that format.
I 100% prefer it, as long as it don't go too far and people go crazy about them. I think if you're just honest about what it is, you can talk about it. And if there's questions coming in live, you know, you can answer that for people and discuss it. And I think that side of it is where everyone sort of wins. So you can have people watching it that aren't actually ever going to bid. They're watching it and learning and being interested in something. Yeah. That's the bonus of it.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
I think, yeah,
we've upset. Let's go.
He'll be fine. He's got to look after Pam. She's literally.
He's got to set up his auction. He's got a lot of fish to sell before he gets to Japan.
They're like, can you just photograph? Can you just do this for me? But yeah, I think it's getting, like I said, it's probably easier to get more people, perhaps on a WhatsApp group or a Telegram, whatever group, in that format. If you're someone starting out new, should you be selling fish like that? I don't know where I even sort of stand on that. Obviously, if you've got a premises, you've built up a client base, but like Marcus is obviously doing something different in the end. There's a lot of people that do it from their gardens. You know, they literally, they grow on fish, end up with some. If he can make that work, fantastic. Obviously, we know Marcus, but there could be someone else that's doing it that hasn't got a clue. You know, can they ship fish? Have they got a pet shop license? They've got all these different add-ons that, you know, your normal koi dealer has to have. And it's part safety for the fish, part for whatever it is. There's restrictions as, you know, your pet shop license. There's things you've got to follow as a farm, as a shop, as a whatever. Which is why eBay now we're going to shut down fish sales or whatever, because you've got so many people that were selling fish on eBay and stuff that can't look after, don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, should you be selling a live animal if you don't know how to pack it properly, if you don't know how to transport it, if you don't know how to look after it, if you don't know what the health of it's like, should you be selling that fish? That's
the other thing of it. You'd like to hope that they were only doing what they're doing auction wise as a secondary way of making the market available to all on a different format and still practicing what they need to do.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is it? But, you know, do you? That's where do you? Yeah, I don't know. There's no sort of guidelines for that. And obviously, eBay do still you let you sell fish. Facebook don't let you sell fish or whatever. Then there's reasons.
Well, yeah, I think that's the Facebook side of thing. It's just their policy is no trading of livestock.
I'm surprised eBay do like they do. To be fair.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can get pretty much anything on eBay, can't you? You can buy hundreds of thousands of neon tetras, you know, any form of tropicals, cold water, you know, marine, and everything's on there, isn't it? Really.
But yeah, that's where I'm going with it. At the end of the day, surely if you know where you're buying from, if they've got a premises, you know the person, the history, something about the history of them. It's a lot more regulated. It's a better industry than back to the bad old days where fish were being shipped in from around the world, unloaded at Heathrow, being shipped off to people's bloody ponds, sold. Some of the stuff that used to go on 30 years ago was just horrendous, really. Fish literally being unboxed and being sold 24 hours later, in the right state. You've got no record of anything that's going on. And that's where there was so much issue. And it has got so much better. People just literally, the whole process is so much more transparent. You don't get away with that anymore.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. Who knows? There's not an answer to it.
I'm getting it tonight from Mark. He's on form. Guys, have you ever thought about writing a novel because you can't half tell a story? Talking of auctions and talking about Mark, I have to turn around and say this gentleman, and I will bring it up. Oh.
He's my main bloody rival on auctions, isn't he? He should be back.
I'll bring it up and show it. That there fish was purchased on an auction that I was a part of the Christmas period. Now the gentleman said that he didn't want any thanks. But I am going to thank you, mate, because that is an absolute belting fish, mate. And thank you very much for your generous offer. As Mark purchased this fish on Ryan's auction and he's gifted it to me. So I wanted to take the opportunity. And this wasn't planned at all. But as we're talking about people buying fish on auctions, not everybody buys them for themselves. Some people, you now being the second one, mate, are the second person who has bought an auction fish, which I will gratefully accept, mate, and hopefully it'll grow into a lovely fish. Not very fast, but it will grow into a lovely fish eventually and grace my pond. So
leave it at lines, it'll grow faster.
So thank you very much, mate. You're a star.
So is this the same Gaz that was saying, I never get nothing? I get nothing. Who are you buying now?
He's always saying that.
I was talking about something totally different, and that was not related to this type of thing at all.
Yeah, right. There you
I've
go.
been told off as well.
You got told off.
Yeah.
I've got to give you a little bit of a plug there as well, Matt. Matt Howe's WhatsApp auctions were okay.
Okay.
Shows of vids, talks about it on the vid. Info put on screen. Starting bid. Buy now price. Pam call time. Come on, Matt. Chinning. Chipping.
I just can't fucking do it. I really can't.
Right. How about right? Hang about. Right. Let me make a suggestion then. Right. We spoke about this. Me and Rick have spoke about this. I have a platform. Right. You want to be able to get you and your fish out there. Yeah. There's other people that have fish that want to get them out there to a platform. How about we do a switch over from one person to another person to another person to another person on a monthly basis each week, 3 or 4 of you, whatever, take turns, and you auction your fish and I provide you the platform.
Guys, you've probably even got a web page for this, haven't you?
We've been talking about it as well, Ricky. This was the heat of the conversation that we had last Saturday, me and Ricky.
It's such a dick. That's just blowing everything, mate. You're blowing it all now.
I reckon, guys, it's a brilliant idea. The only thing that I would say is don't do one dealer 1 week, another one the next week. Mix it. And personally, the reason for that is for me.
I'm just saying. You're saying you don't like being the front man face, but you're comfortable doing it here.
Because he's on the rum, isn't it? He can't sell fish drunk.
But there's nothing stops him from being him, doing what he's doing. His customers know him. It's no different when he's at work. It's the same principle. You're comfortable here. So if I provide you somewhere comfortable, do you want to use it?
That just sounds no wrong.
It's just an option, isn't it? It's like there's no difference between Ryan and Lee doing what they're doing and me hosting it for them. How is it any different?
No,
I think as long as everyone involved is, all right with,
I mean, let's try him. Let's try him for science. Go for it, Matt.
It's just you, Matt. Oh no,
good idea.
You're muted, mate. Matt, you're muted. We can't hear you.
No, I'm not.
So you might want to work on that a little bit.
Yeah. But no, the idea of an auction on your platform using your loyal, like Ricky,
it's not so much using mine. People come to they're not coming here to watch me, are they? They're coming here to watch this, the whole what this is. And they come week in, week out. If we could put something together for them to help people like yourselves who are camera shy or haven't got something as a format, perhaps maybe you, perhaps Marcus, perhaps Rick. Why not?
But I think it'd be better if everybody did it. And you said, right, three fish, 4 fish, whatever it is, from that dealer, and then you auction them on your site. Only because for the likes of myself, come July, August, I have no time to go and video.
God knows you sit down every night at week watching all your fecking soaps. Don't talk out your ass. Everybody says they've got no time. I don't believe it. Bring your good lady wife on and let her tell me how much time you've got, because I bet she's giving you lists of shit to do left, right, and centre.
Probably not the day for that.
No, probably not the day.
The problem with that, Matt, is you can
pretend to be as busy as you want, mate, chasing your ducks and stuff around in garden, trying to get them in all night.
4 fish on, and you got to say 4 of us. It's going to be difficult for you're not competing. Well, you are competing dealers or whatever, but you've got to, if you and Crafty are both trying to sell something, I think it's better off if you've got one person has their week slot. They can be on, they can talk about their fish or whatever. So it's a once a month thing, or probably not even that. If you've got 8 dealers that want to do it, it might be once every 2 months that you get a go or whatever. Or someone that's got a lot of fish and likes doing it, say Crafty, might want to do it once a fortnight. You might not want to do it. I don't know. I think it's just for the information people get out there.
Well, that's the thing, mate. That's the bit I like about it. That's why I like doing it with Crafty. That's why I really enjoy doing it with Ryan as well. Listening to it all and listening and learning from it, for me, it's a platform, isn't it? At the end of the day, I get to sit here week in, week out and learn. And I say this every week. I do. I get to learn something new every week, damn near.
I just thought if I was selling one of my fish and in the background I had Crafty pitching in and saying his bit as well with his voice.
Yeah, but you might not like it. What do you think? What happens if you turn around and say, "Yeah, but that's shit, Matt"? That's that one I sold you 4 weeks ago.
You won't. And that's the funny thing is that, I don't see Crafty as a competitor at all, because he's not. Crafty is up there. We're down here. I love Crafty the bits. Love Ryan the bits. We shouldn't be.
If you've got enough people on there that aren't selling the same sort of fish.
Multi-dealer auction.
Yeah. I reckon it'd be funny as fuck. It really would.
Yeah. I think it might get confusing if you have different people on the same.
It's not confusing for me. It's as easy as me just getting the info sent to me and just putting it as Matt's stuff, Matt's stock, your stock, Rick's stock, Crafty, whoever's.
We shouldn't be buying them, or we shouldn't be. I'll take that. Stop saying that. It's the fish that people are buying. It's not particularly.
Yeah, it's bringing the fish to the market, isn't it?
And you would hope by now that people that are watching this, that potentially going to watch the auction, would have the trust in the likes of Ryan, Crafty, me, Marcus, Ricky, that we are reputable dealers. We wouldn't sell dodgy fish.
Would it be a way of bringing all the reputable dealers together, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And isn't that what people have been trying to make the koi dealers do for a long time, but in a virtual sense?
Sort of. Yeah. It's one of those. You'll get some that won't want to. Well, you probably have quite a lot that won't want to be involved. They do their own stuff, don't they? I think from the person that watches YouTube's point of view, or watches these stuff, that kind of auction is a lot better than just something on WhatsApp. I get why they're done or whatever, but yeah,
I can understand the people doing it via WhatsApp purely because of trying to get it out there. I can understand it.
But do you really get?
I don't have much to do with the others, so I've not seen the bits that you've seen. So I've not seen that side.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the fish going for the best money on the WhatsApp auctions. They tend to go okay.
Yeah, but then there was like when I did it, Ricky, that yes, it was fun, and everybody that was on it all said it was brilliant, fun night. It was a bit of a laugh.
Gaz gets 20% off.
20%
fee.
This is where it came from. This is what I said to Gaz about it. He does all these auctions without realistically being part of it. So if he does the auctions, there should be a fee, whether it's a percentage or the dealers pay him a month, whatever. It's advertising, isn't it? There has to be, if I'm going to go on your thing and sell fish on the auction, you're advertising. It's still advertising, isn't it? If I do it myself, I'm going to have X amount of people watching. Do it on your channel and make it a bigger thing. I might have 5 times more people watching.
And that works even better, because then the host, being Gaz, he's going to want to have as many people possible watching that auction that night. And obviously the better prices, more realistic prices that we get is obviously more beneficial to Gaz. It's probably a bit wrong saying on here.
Yeah, but that's where 20%
of 100 is different. 20% of 150.
1%.
Yeah.
I can afford the heater, mate. I can't afford to heat the fucking heater.
I just think for platforms, the way the world is, and you look at how a lot of fish are being sold in Japan, it's all auction based, because you can buy fish. The farm can put out a load of fish on an auction, whether it's good or bad. It just saves traveling to Japan, doesn't it? A lot of the time, if you've been there, you've done it. The farms. You don't want to go out there 5 times a year, do you?
No, but it's funny though, because on the emails, and I think with some of the magazines as well, the emails I probably get 5 to 6 every day, and you'll be the same, Ricky, probably, of fish that 2 side up for sale, this side for sale, special New Year's Eve auctions or whatever. I don't look at them because they don't have the interaction with me.
No, but obviously, if you had run out of fish and you needed certain fish or whatever, then that's just buying them via whichever method, be it Orna Fish or be it the Japanese. I don't know who even runs some of the Japanese ones. That must be to do with. I don't know. I've been bidding on them. I don't even know where they come from. But yeah, it's interaction for the people watching is where I'm trying to get to, because at the end of the day, that's part and parcel of it, isn't it?
Ryan says everyone should support the fact that me and Matt get to spend Valentine's together in Japan.
and my birthday.
And his birthday, Ryan.
Why might get my birthday suit?
It's all right, you will, mate.
A Valentine's special auction, double bubble, birthday and Valentine's double bubble. Everything sold with love.
That's a big one. 60th.
You're a knob.
That's true. Yeah. I'll vouch for that. Hang on, I serenaded you on your 50th.
I know, I still got it.
You still got it. There you go.
Let's get started. I've been missing a couple of these comments, so I'll let you carry on. I like Matt's WhatsApp platform. Been looking forward to him doing it again.
It was good, to be fair. But for me, the only reason I didn't...
You're biased, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not. That's one thing I definitely not. Thank you.
It's definitely not biased.
I done it because I wanted a quick turnover fish.
Yeah, and that's
And
it
to be fair, I don't reckon I made a penny.
It can have its space like that, though, can't it, Matt? It can have its space for right. You want to get rid of some fish because you need to clear out for. So every fish you're selling a bargain fish, moving them on, whatever. Or how do you then go back from that to fish that you want to say these are top notch? And I don't want 40, 50 quid for these fish. I want 650 quid.
Well, you start them at a high price and have a reserve on it.
You can do, but then you're doing the promotion that you're doing that now. That like this is the fish that are being handpicked in Japan in February. Bang, bang,
That's
bang.
the difference, mate. You've got to market it and you've got to advertise it and you've got to push them out there as that, haven't you? You've got to. That's the biggest thing for me with all the auctions is allowing people to know it's upcoming and what there is available for them people to have a look through beforehand so that they know what. So if you went to another auction, you'd get a brochure, wouldn't you, or a magazine with everything that were going to be in there, what were coming up, lot number, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So you could study the form of what you were going to be getting to bid at. So you've got to make sure that you put your stuff out there in that format beforehand for people to see for long enough prior to your auction coming up when you wanted to push a decent sale. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole point of that is if it's something that's done professionally, that you're saying here's a platform on every Tuesday or every whatever night you're doing it, then obviously all the dealers that are involved a given week have got those fish photographed, videoed, and in a separate vat. So people that are in the shop can see the fish that are coming on. You've got all the information of fish. They're available on whatever Saturday night's auction, Saturday Night Live. Ant and Deck and Gaz are all on doing the auction. And it's there that there's going to be 10 fish auctioned every Saturday night, all the time. Whichever dealers, you've got all the information. I don't know. I think from the interest point of view from that the audience will grow because you'll say you've got fish from multiple dealers, multiple price ranges as well. So you can have some cheap stuff going on, some young stuff that's going to be growing on, some big stuff, whatever. I don't know. It's something that's got to be looked at because someone else will do it. That's the thing, isn't it? We haven't got that in this country. The sort of what's the word? Virtually all the dealers in this country just do their thing, don't they? We do our stuff. Matt goes out to get his stuff from Ryan. Ryan goes out to Japan, and everyone's got their bit. Whereas a lot of the time, you'd have a dealer in Japan that goes to all the farms in Japan. So he's got stuff from everywhere. So he's got something different to offer all the customers. So it'd be a place you go, and you'd be able to find something of everything. That's got to be someone to do it in this country at some point. Why don't you be the one that does it, and you can do it virtually?
I've been asked this by several people now. So, I mean, I'm not saying no to nothing. Matt, don't forget you're muted in case you aren't talking to us.
No, I was just doing my nurse bit.
You all right, love? You are you conscious, pal?
Matt, people
she's not coming on.
Matt, people would pay good money for it, Rick says. Most hobbyists would love to spend Valentine's in Japan with me, candlelit dinner at Marahiro.
Here is Round Pond.
Who said that? Who said that? Ryan.
Ryan knows I'll be way too drunk by then to have dinner with. I'll be swimming around the round.
Ryan knows he'd only have to buy you five pints and a few lemon sours, and you're anybody's anyway. So your job's a good one.
Buy me 2 pints. I cannot drink lager. One little bit. That stuff I can stay on it all night, but lager, no.
Yeah, he's speechless, Ryan. He is, mate. It's an idea, isn't it? It's an idea.
I reckon it's definite go, I guess. I reckon you should definitely do it. Give us, say, like 5 fish each, chuck it over to you, and then you do it, and we all come on. I'm happy to do that.
He's had 2 rums. He's happy to come on and do his fish now.
Let's see what we can get from a perspective from a novice new koi keeper.
Marcus. Oh,
Evening all.
Evening.
Right, well, I have put it up in the chat, but I have learned so much from this live.
Oh, you got to be joking.
Watching the actual auctions as well. I've learned so much about what to look in fish. Now,
There you go.
and I am novice on the koi keeping side. Yeah, I've got years' experience of keeping fish, but not with a koi pond.
So what do you?
Always
So,
been-
so for a novice, because I mean, to be fair, I'm not much beyond what the hell's going on
You're
here.
a novice as well. Kaz is still a novice, all right.
I am. I'm never. I never confessed to be anything different, mate. I am still learning, and I will always be learning because everybody will be always advancing further than me. So I'm always going to be able to learn from people that are already leaps and bounds ahead of me. So I'm always going to be learning that.
Well, I haven't had my pond yet 12 months. I only built my pond in May last year. And through my knowledge of having the fish in the past of aquariums, I was able to not go through the new pond syndrome because I knew what I was doing on that side.
And you got all that from us.
Well, I've got information of what to look in on kois and what to looking not to get on kois.
So would you think then the format via a YouTube auction is better than doing, because I know you've been involved in both, is better than doing what's taking part on in a WhatsApp one? Which would you prefer out of the two?
I would say the YouTube, because you get more interaction, you get the people explaining the fish, telling you more about it. If they did that on the WhatsApp in the video, did a video of it explaining everything, brilliant. But from what I've seen up to now, you don't get any of that. I've watched one and it was just a picture. Watched another, got a picture and video, but no actual description of the fish in the videos.
But you can't also, even if they did describe in the video, this is this age, this size, this bit's good, this bit's not so good, this is, but you still can't ask a question live. It's not as easy. Obviously, on this situation, you could turn and say, hang on, what's that weird blemish behind the second down the red there? Which you could say, oh, it's soon be coming up, or it's whatever, but it's better. I mean,
that's the reason why I prefer the YouTube version.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's nice. In the end of the day, if you could have a multi-dealer platform that could cover hobbyists from, you're never going to have super cheap fish on an auction or whatever, because the dealer's got to put too much work into photo, video, and all the rest of it. But you can still have sort of 50, 60 quid fish through to 500 quid fish or whatever, £1,000 fish. There's no, I don't know. I think it's a no-brainer. That should be on it. I don't know what he's waiting so long for me to come up with the idea for him.
Another little idea to add to it then. How about if we do the fish by auction, but we don't say who the dealer is, and if there's, say, 20 fish, that all the people watching have to name what farm or what dealer the fish comes from. So fish number 1 coming on is one of Crafty's. You write down Crafty. Number 2, it's actually one of mine. Another one for somebody else, etc., etc., etc. But all the dealers say what they think of that fish, not giving the game away that it's their fish.
I think we might have to do it on the charity night, mate, because I think this could turn into an absolute mess.
And at the end of it,
I would say on the 24-hour live, doing that, brilliant.
Everyone should put a
Possibly
fish in and rip it to
possibly-
bits.
Yeah, possibly try it out as well beforehand.
Well, I was going to say that if you named all of the fish from the right particular dealer, the highest guessing names, if that makes sense, would win the prize fish donated by all of the dealers.
Well, do you know what I did that at Vince's first YouTube event? I took 6 kahakus, 2 from me, 2 from Dainichi, and 2 from Sakai. Alan Tate judged them blind, and I did a list, which fish is from which farm, and basically whoever got the most won another fish that I'd taken. Nobody got them right.
There you
Nobody.
go.
Dave, Rocket Boy Dave, won it with 4 out of 6 right farms.
It's mad, isn't it? And like what we said, Ricky, it's a numbers game. If you take your best to your best and put them up against some of the standard Japs that are coming in, you hold your own.
But that's the best of my best against their cast-offs, isn't it? So
Yeah, but then that's because that's why I was going
Another
on.
one.
Question just a
Did
minute
it
ago with the 5 million fish. If they're going to rear 5 million showers, then they're going to have a higher quality of fish in the first place.
They are. That's what they should do. Sorry, Sarah, you were saying?
Well, going off like what Rick said, with each of you putting, say, 2 fish in each, and then people guessing where they've come from, you could do it because it's the 24-hour live. You've got to be coming up for charity. You could say £10 a ticket to enter this. People still, you get a bit of money for the charity, and they're guessing.
They guess and they win Matt's best fish. The winner.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Rolling on in Gaz's koi pond.
he's got too many fish in his pond. He keeps getting given stuff.
Yeah, I am giving away some stuff. I am moving some on. I've got to give my dad a load because he's been unfortunate he's not replaced the ones that he's had eaten by his errand. So I'm going to be able to give him some of mine because he's not bothered about what they particularly look like. He's just happy to have some fish and to be, having them to feed and grow on. So
There you go.
How big have you got that Midori guy? Oh, the other one I gave you. That's 2 wet. Going to go off tonight.
the Midori, what? The Midori guy, the green one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I bet it's. But it's grown. It's grown. It's bigger than what it was. It's not massive, mate, because it's been like North Pole here all year, hasn't it? So, but it has grown. To be honest, Matt, I haven't measured anything at all, but I do know that I've had growth throughout. It's definitely bigger. It's definitely put bodied on, and definitely bigger than what it was, but it's not grown massive. But yet again, nor of us anything else.
Basically, your pond's all going to be free soon, isn't it?
My pond's going to be what?
The amount of free fish you got in your pond, it's becoming like.
It's certainly a fair few in there. Well, there's a good number in there because I've been now gifted 2 from subscribers, which is one again from Mark this evening. I've had the fish that I was gifted money for, which I purchased, and with that I got a free fish from Ryan. So I bought 3 and got a 4th one free. I've had 2 gifted from Crafter, so that's 2 free ones there. But they've basically put me back to where I were before the heron decided they were going to eat a good chunk of them, which I'd purchased. So yeah, we've got.
Yeah.
Oh, and the one and the Midori guy from you, Matt. So that's another one. So yeah, there is at least 6 or 7 in there that are. And Jeff Lee's given me the big kaku, so that's 8. There's at least.
Have I not given you one?
You've given me loads, mate.
No.
You give me. Well, 3 of them got eaten, didn't they?
Oh.
That's the bastard bit about it, mate. 3 of them got eaten, but you have given me, and I have purchased some from you since. You've given me 2,
don't even know. You can't even remember this.
I don't know which one. It's the last one I purchased. No, but not actually. No, that's Vicky gifted me and Daz one when we came down there, didn't she? That was from you, so that's technically a free one. Then what do they call them? They're a shower, kin shower. You gifted me. I purchased the Karashi guy, and then I purchased the Deutz Achieva. Then Marcus
give you one, didn't he?
Marcus gave me one because that was the one that I wanted, so he's growing it on for me. So there's a good 12. Or there'll be a good 12 in there eventually. Yeah, before long I won't have paid for any of them.
You wanted to go when you go around Japan, all the farms say I normally get given a free fish.
I only get a free fish. Me, what's going on?
There you go. So, do you know who I am?
Just quickly to go back on one of the questions you were talking about early on in the live about Alpha Grog. I've actually used that in the bottom of my bog filters that I built with some oyster shells on top and then the plants on top of that. And I've seemed to got me flipping ammonia, nitrites right down just by building a bog filter.
The only issue with that is after
also,
a few years, it will the plants root into the Alpha Grog and it will come out as just a big mass. But yeah, it will work nicely. It would bloody heavy as well.
I've got a drainage on it so I can just clean it out. But the plants seem to love it.
Yeah, it's like this. We grow it in the Lytag. All the chilies are grown in filter media, and just in trickle fat towers, and they just go mad. Work a treat.
Sorry, Susan. Wow, guys, that's a lot of freebies. It's on so many I can't keep track.
He was saying on a different chat earlier that he gets nothing.
Oh, man. No, that's not what. It was a totally different subject. Wasn't talking about. I have had a fair few fish given to me. Yes, but what I was talking about, seeing as he's trying dropping me in it now twice. We're talking earlier on in group.
But you still remain partial, don't you, Gaz?
I was talking about products, as in for doing like product testing. In all these years that I've been doing what I've done and doing, I haven't been approached by any companies out there to trial or test or, have a go with anything. I
do believe that's a lie, Gaz. I do believe you have been asked to try stuff out.
I have been asked by one company, but they only did a small. What they sent me or what they offered me as a free trial type thing to do was solar powered pump fountain, a little fountain.
And you sent it back and said, no, thanks, it's not good enough for me.
No, I politely turned around and said, thank you very much for your offer and thank you for considering my channel for your product. But unfortunately, it's not big enough to service the needs of my pond. If you have anything else you would like to use or try for me to have a look at in the future, please feel free to be in touch, get back in touch. What's wrong with that? If I can't make use of it, it can't run my koi pond. So I can't put it in there, or otherwise I'm not going to be able to do them any justice by doing them a video on it because I'm just going to go, well, on a night time it turns off and all my fish are dead.
I think somebody like yourself, guys, won't have an issue, but I think that you need to stay impartial to it as well because you see so many people coming on and saying, this is the dog bollocks. This is great stuff.
That's the thing, mate. That's why I don't think I get approached because I probably speak the truth and I'd probably turn around and say it's a bag of crap. Yeah.
But if you've got a good product, you've got a good product. So you want people.
Yeah, exactly. If it's a good product, it won't make a difference whether I put it out there. Because if it were good, it would be good, wouldn't it? If it did the job, it does the job. If it doesn't do the job, then it needs to be said that it doesn't do the job.
But it's a bit like the conversation we had a couple of weeks ago about the food.
Yeah.
And I think with the food, it's easy to go on and say, you know, as a oneer, that food is brilliant, really good. My fish are superb. But what you need is like 10 to 15 reputable places that everybody knows that can do a proper trial on that food and then put it forward. Not say right at the beginning when the food's just been released, because where's the evidence it's going to do the job?
Well, it should have been, but the whole point is it should be track proven wherever it's being manufactured, isn't it?
That's the thing, Susan. If I did get something sent through to me, the likelihood is I would move it on. And I would gift it on. So send in your free products and let's post them out to people as subscribers that could come on and make use of them. Yeah, I would.
And the subscribers will probably be the more truthful person.
Exactly, yeah. That's what
actually see what they thought of the product.
We hope though, any products tested, isn't it? What's the point of our research and development? Every product should be good, fit for purpose. It might not fit every environment, every pond, but it should be good for its basic need. Otherwise, why?
I mean, if you've been sent a small filter and a solar panel pump, that's only ideally for a wildlife pond. It's not going to be no good for for my pond. It wouldn't even be good enough for the small pond because it would stop on a night. If it's not in direct sunlight, then therefore it goes off. So that's the only thing.
Can you not put a light above it to keep it going?
Yeah, probably. There you go, guys. Give back to
you can. I can name 2 lights that you could put above it to keep it going.
We've given loads away on this channel, Susan. Absolutely tons has been given away on this channel, and I've given away. There's been many a spin the wheel.
Yeah. He's given his heart and soul to the channel. What else can he give?
Exactly. Love, heart, and soul.
Well, here's a question for all 3 of you. What's your views on solar panelled lights?
The solar lights, the bag of shit, man.
Unless you've got a battery pack,
do the same thing.
Yeah, but decent stuff has a battery pack, so it charges in the day and works during the night. Yeah,
but the solar panel only lasts 12 months max, and then it disintegrates or fades off and hazes over so that it doesn't no longer get any sunlight because they're cheap.
If you buy cheap ones.
Well, I've bought solar lights in my garden, had them running for 12 months max. And then I've had ones where I thought, right, I'll buy some more now and get another 45, 50 quid more expensive. And still last the same length of time. Most of them are shit. They work really good through summer months when you're getting hell of a lot of sunlight. You get to winter months, they start to drop off, and then they don't do as well. And you might have them turn on for 25 minutes, and then it's off. Yeah, they're not the best, are they?
Yeah, but to be fair, you're better off with wind powered lights, aren't you?
Especially right
up here, yeah, for sure. If I could have wind power up here, mate, I'd be laughing. I'd be able to power my whole damn house off of it.
So why doesn't anyone do a mini wind turbine for lights?
Because wind turbines cost an absolute fortune.
Not a little mini one, surely doesn't.
Little mini one.
Same principle, just smaller, isn't it?
Yeah,
you mean like
a couple of magnets going around the bottom of a thing, isn't it?
And it's those big wind turbines supposed to take something like 20 years to be actually make them carbon neutral.
Yeah, but then by then the propellers and that.
But by then the knackered and need to be replaced. Yeah.
Are you referring to taking the dynamo off your bike?
Dynamo, yeah. I wanted to do it as a kid, run a TV off a bike, but I couldn't work it.
No wonder you couldn't go and send your products to test.
You just picture Ricky in his front room pedaling like hell. Come on, GKP's on in a minute. And off he's going.
Fitness as well.
You know yourself when you were a nip and you had a dynamo on your push bike, right? The only time your lights actually work good enough to be able to see is when you were going down an hill.
Yeah, they're pretty deadly. You stop.
That's when you were pedaling up an hill, coming up a way, giving it every pedal, your lights going. Yeah, they were dangerous. Them things, man.
When you stop at the traffic lights, nobody can see you.
They go off. Shit. You just keep your wheels spinning.
Yeah, you have to lift up the back wheel.
There we go. I put in a poll there 8 minutes ago. 33 people. If you look up at the top now in the comments, you'll see that there's a poll up there. Would you like a new format of auction with several different dealers? So far, we've got a 73% says yes to a 26% says no.
So multiple dealers.
Yeah, so the vast majority would like that format.
Boom! Ricky, boom!
I'm not getting involved, mate.
You're in it.
You freaking are. Your idea.
Well, my idea now.
Your idea. Your idea. Well, no, it weren't my idea ever. You came and said this ages ago. You two have been whiz-wazzing about this for a long time.
Nothing to do with me, not him.
Oh, was it him?
We were talking about it Saturday, weren't we, Ricky, in the middle of the field?
Yeah, so interesting our day was. That's how busy he is.
See, that's how busy it is.
Why not? We run out of questions already.
No, we haven't. No, we'll go to a question. Hang about. There's 1 sec. Let's bring it up. In fact, we'll get this one first because it's in here on the Facebook group. He's definitely got to do it, Susan, because it was an idea. What we should do. Right, here we go. Now we're getting ready for the new year, which we are actually now in. This is from Peter Dewfall. What is everyone looking forward to doing to their ponds, and why? What major changes are you looking for? And this would have been a little bit of a little bit of a dig, mate. Pete, it's kind of wasted, but we'll get it in there anyway. Crafty may be getting his pond rendered. You never know, but hopefully, if he's listening, he'll have a little giggle at that.
Has he still not got it done?
No, no. Well, so Rick, Rick, what you're looking forward to doing on farm this year? We'll have to go to farm for you because we can't do ponds because you've got fucking hundreds of them.
Oh,
And what major changes are you looking forward to?
haven't got any major changes. Using some new broodstock. What's about
Some
another
new
20 broodstock? I mean, yeah. Yeah, we sort of do a bit of a stock check on the broodstock, and we've got a very nice customer who's buying fish for us at the minute. He hasn't got a pond, and he's purchasing some. They're coming from Narita from different farms, but yeah, some proper new stuff to play with. So
That's nice, huh?
So yeah, it's always the spawn, isn't it? I think that's my year goes round that picking the parents, conditioning them, getting the fish to spawn, having the fry do well, going through them, and hopefully at the end of the year again, or fuck's sake, not again.
They produce a lot of shit,
Yeah,
whichever it may be.
yeah. So yeah, this year's really going to be focused on top end Kahaku and Sankey because we haven't done them en masse for quite a while now. So it's the year to do that. But unfortunately, they're not the best sellers, really. It's bizarre. But there we go. Top end Sankey's coming out.
That's one thing I'm looking forward to, mate, seeing what the Sankeys do. What are you looking forward to then, Matt? Same question, same.
First one's got to be Japan.
Other than your Valentine's meal with
Ryan. I'm gonna hold him to it as well.
Yeah, damn right.
I'll have an early night. I'll leave you to it.
Making sure.
Definitely the Japan trip. That's going to be phenomenal. Yeah.
I've got to admit, mate, I am over the moon about that. Can't wait. It's going to be I don't know, eye opener.
Definitely the eye opener. Finishing the polytunnels, the new 3 ones we put in. That will be lovely when that's all done. Our event that we're having at the end of May. Looking forward to that. Not yet. All I'm going to say is
not yet.
No, not yet.
Ryan said it's because we're all spending time with him.
The best bit that I'm looking forward to is in the evening. We got a country and western band, and the only admittance you got to wear is a cowboy hat.
Just
That's
a cowboy hat.
Yeah, don't tell Ricky. Yeah, Ricky, just a cowboy hat, nothing else.
I've got
Nothing else. Cowboy. Where do you put your spares?
Sorry, mate.
Where do you put your spares?
Earrings, mate.
Have you ever seen how hard it is to ride it on a Alsatian dog?
Naked, it'll be not doing that.
Oh my god!
Yes, Sally's rubbing in the wrong place.
Gets worse. Go on then, Sarah. What you're looking forward to with your pot? Hang about. What was the question again? I'll make sure I get it right. Now we're getting ready for the new year. What you're looking forward to doing with your pond, and what major changes are you looking forward to?
With your pond, I would say making it bigger. That's the one thing I do regret, is making it as small as it was. Sorting it out so it's more suitable for the koi on the size, giving more space to swim round. Probably working onto getting a better filtration system than what I've got, because it's just a pressure filter at the moment with a Tempest. Hopefully get the money together for a Nexus on it. Other than that, meeting up with people I enjoy company of at the koi shows and learning more off them. And also meeting up with guys.
Well, for mine, there's going to be no changes. There ain't going to be no changes to the pond this year at all, I don't believe. I don't think I really need to make any changes other than moving some stock on and replacing some others.
Bye. Sending them notes.
Yeah, because I'd like to have some bigger and better fish in my pond. That's what I'm looking forward to. Some bigger and better.
Hints. Ryan, are you listening? Bigger, better ones for free.
But for mine, yeah, no, I don't think there's going to be any changes. I tell you what, I do look forward to. I look forward to, and which will bring us into his next question. To be fair, is preparing it all and getting it ready for spring, giving it all a good deep filter clean, nice good check over your fish, and getting everything all jet washed off, cleaned up, tidied up, and getting garden ready for spring through to summer, through to autumn, through back to the shitty winter again. So yeah, that's what I'm going to look forward to. I always enjoy doing that every year. So
if you get bored, you can come down ours and prepare some ponds.
Prepare some more. Great. Cheers. To be fair though, mate, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy that side of the koi keeping. I wouldn't want, for me, yes, it would be very nice to have a drum and all the rest of it, but there's so many other things that I'd need in place, like a drainage system or water pump, out to the back of the house and the property, that it just becomes so damned expensive. It's not the right garden for doing it in. So maybe.
Guys, would you not put a drum on then?
Would I not put a drum on? Well, I don't have a water supply to put a drum in, so I couldn't have it.
You don't need one. You use the pond water.
You can use.
I was gonna ask that, because that's what.
Well, this is what Ricky was saying earlier on when I was driving back to the hospital.
Well, if you've got one and you're giving one away and you want me to knock yourself out, yeah, I'll have one of them.
That's why I asked the question for you to go, well, I don't get given any, no.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's the point.
Particularly on the filter ones, they take the pond water, which to me makes sense because everybody's doing or should be doing their water changes. So if you're using the pond water to clean the drum, and that water is the waste water that's going out of the pond, and you're topping up with tap
As it
water.
would do normal. Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't that make more sense for using tap water to do your top out rather
Yeah,
than
that's-
using tap water that you're using to clean the drum, wash down, and still end up?
I'll drop you a text later on with my address again because I know you've probably not got it anymore. When you've got your drum ready, I shall quite. In fact, you can come up and you can. I'm over in Yorkshire, and you can see what it's like to see God's country and experience the Arctic and really feel cold when you didn't. It's not quite as deep as what Vince's is. You'd be right. Your crown jewel will just get dipped in. That'll be about it.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you use the pond water to clean it, you then still going to be losing water. And Gaz's taps on the other side of his house. It's got to take it through the living room and out the.
I swear to God, man, I've got to take it through the living front, from my front of the house, through the letterbox, through the living room, through the conservatory, out the cat flap and into the garden. And that's
But you do a water change, don't you?
Yeah, that's how I have to do it every time, mate.
So what you're doing exactly the same. You're just on a weekly basis topping up your pond.
Yeah.
So whether you're using
put a tap at the other end of his house, I don't. Why can't you just put a tap?
Because I've got all the water's at that side of the house, so all my mains is at that side of the house. Right, kitchen's that far side. I don't have any means to get under my floor as it's only like that much between underneath the living room floor to the outside. So there's no crawl space or anywhere to get in to run a pipe. So I'd have to
draw tape it straight through.
Yeah.
What you want to do is phone up the local plumbing companies and say, look, do you know who I am? Do you want to come over and I'll do YouTube?
Give me some free pipe. Oh, God damn it. Here we go. There we go. Another freebie for you guys. Yeah, well, I mean, I shall work on the plumber if you want to sort out the drum. Not an issue. I'll do it.
I'm sure there's the plumber. I was going to say, I'm sure there's a plumber on here that's more than willing to come over and feed a pipe through for
myself,
you.
Actually, I'm not. If I had a means to be able to get under the floor and get it through, I would have already done it. I can guarantee you, mate, it'd have already been done. It'd have been hep to O straight towards back at door and lagged from here to outside and it'd been on outside of house.
To get my own back, what you want to do is get Ryan over because he could run through with it.
You don't need a crawl space, do you?
I hear that. He says you could run under floorboards for us. Horrible bastard, I think he is.
Terrible.
Right.
Short jokes.
Kevin, right, is your bathroom not at the back of the house? No. All the water is at the front of my house. My kitchen's at the front. My bathroom is right above it. So absolutely all.
Have you got central heating?
Yes.
Why can't you tap off the copper pipe and run heating exchange in there as well?
Because the boiler's in the kitchen too.
Yeah, but just for hot water, just run some copper pipe into your pond, put a coil in, and
Just that's not a bad idea, is it? Wham straight out there. Oh, he's put in. Brian says, "Cheeky fecker." His Valentine's is cancelled. God's country, but's left in 1554. Gaz hasn't. Yeah. Yep, it's just the way our houses are built. It's all to front. Now everybody said that you can go up into my attic and through and back down, but then I'd have full length of my house, 4 meters of pipe running down outside of my house. It would just look an absolute tit, wouldn't it? Look stupid. I really do need to see about having it done because it'd be way better if I could get water out at rear. Because I do have a drain, which is only about 2 meters from my meter and a half from my pond.
What type of floorboards have you got, Gaz?
Floorboards.
So why can't you run it?
You know them wooden tongued and grooved floorboards?
Yeah. So why can't you run it from the front of the house to the back of the house?
Because I'm not 6 inches tall.
That's just why Ryan.
I don't mean underneath the living room. I mean across the landing to the back of the house and down.
Right, from my kitchen through to here, it's 37 foot long. And that's a straight room. I've got a living room, kitchen. my kitchen's open plan to my living room. And then from the living room, I'm in the garden, technically now. This is a conservatory. So I'd have to come all the way around my house, all the way around my doors, or otherwise I'd have a copper pipe running through the middle of my living room floor.
No, I'm talking about from like your bathroom up and then dropping it down into your conservatory.
I suppose I could do that on the bathroom floor level and come through the house that way. Yeah, I could do it that way.
There's pipe bass. You've got water pissing through the roof.
Yeah.
See, it takes a woman.
That would be a way to do it.
Well, the thing is, the central heating pipes are doing that. So why can't you do that with the cold?
I could do it that way, actually. Take it from the bathroom underneath the landing floor, and then I'd only have it halfway down my wall instead.
Come down
If
inside.
you do it right, it'll come out into the conservatory. You can just leave the top of the conservatory.
Yeah, but
Go out the door.
then I'd have a copper pipe running down inside of my conservatory.
You can hide it.
How?
Don't want it in copper anyway. You want it all in plastic.
No, that stuff. Well, it's all right if you use the inserts, but yeah, it can be. Ryan says he's now available to the highest bidder coming to WhatsApp auction near you for a Valentine's meal instead. No water pipes need to be 750 millimeters under the ground to stop freezing. Depends what piping you use, mate. Now,
Not if they're in the house, hopefully.
yeah, that's what I mean. What I'd want to do is if I came from a kitchen, would be underneath my living room, and then underneath my conservatory flooring, and just out of the wall on the outside, and just have an external tap. That's how I'd like to do it. So I should get a plumber to come and give me a price and see if it's possible,
Yeah. Everything's
and then
possible.
charge it to Matt and his expensive new filter system that he wants me to trial for him and put it in the shed.
Done.
Oh, everyone's heard that.
Done.
Done.
Ridiculous.
Done. There we go. Sweet. Happy days. We all
I
heard
don't think
that.
to your nursing, Matt. How's
Sorry.
Pam? Is she right?
Shite nurse, isn't it? You haven't spoken with her all night. He's only asked her once if you can get her anything. Poor lass.
See if she needs a drink or something, mate.
He's good. I've got to wave through the fireplace. I've got to wave through the fireplace. She's good.
Have you given her a big pot of water and a straw?
Yeah, that's also she's allowed to have no alcohol, antibiotics.
Come on then, Matt. This is your time to shine.
What's that?
Never go to you first. So on this occasion, we're going to prep we can do for spring and summer. And this is from Pool Pond UK, who would like to wish us all a healthy and happy 2025. Thank you very much. So, spring prep and summer prep. As soon as we come out our window, what's the best practice? What should we be doing to prep as ponds for the onslaught of spring?
Onslaught.
With me, what I would be doing in the springtime is obviously picking up all the pump speed because they're all down to minimal at the moment because the fish aren't eating.
Yeah.
I don't do pump cleaning, filter cleaning. They're all on drums. So I generally don't. I check everything over to make sure everything's working as it should be. No drips, no leaks. The backy shower, like you say, all of them are crystal anyway. It's really hard, and I understand the question, but when you're running drums, most of it is done for you. Yes, I will. Like I know I've got one of the motors that have gone down now, and it's on bypass, and will stay like it until February, March. I would have done if we weren't busy is I would have put all of my drums on bypass now anyway over the winter months, because that is one of the issues with stagnant water that you're using on the pumps is the water sat there for an hour and a half in the pipe outside of the pond. Potentially you're going to get the freezing up, so you really want to turn off your pumps.
Does water go stagnant that fast?
So
Hour and a half?
Yeah, hour and a half. My water's frozen. I've gone out there and the actual wash pumps, the silver ones, the tipped ones. You know what I mean, don't you, Ricky?
I do.
seen.
I know what people don't. Basically, the filter has got an external pump, obviously for your cleaning, and there's pipe work that goes up into the drum, and it's all exposed. So if it's not lapped, it will freeze solid, and then the pump obviously can't
Do you
clean.
not thought about perhaps maybe putting your filtration system inside a filter house?
Yeah, it's just. Well, I was laughing just a minute ago when you were talking about Crafty doing the rendering. I built our ponds and sheds here 3 years ago. Still haven't done it.
It's just easily accessible. They're all outside.
Is this because you're always so busy?
It is literally, and I do this on the shoestring in the sense of I'm not in it to make stupid amounts of money, so I have a budget that I have to keep to every year to be able to keep doing what I'm doing. And this year, like the polytunnel and the 3 tanks that are in there is eating up on that budget. So it's going to have to sit its time. But really, on maintenance in the spring, perhaps give your filtration a bit of a boost using one of the bacteria to add to the pond. If you're using chamber filters, give them all a good clean out, and you should be okay. It's just this time of year is pretty easy. If you've already put your fish to sleep for the winter, if that makes sense, then you don't. You've got a lot less to do in the springtime.
Mine are definitely asleep. Yeah. They're going to be ice cubes come morning.
When you think about it, we're only 3 months away, and we'll all be saying about how the heat's coming back in. They're coming in March. Well, Ricky, when do you start prepping, as in really getting your fish out for spawning?
Normally April, but I'm in Thailand, so I don't know.
It is. It all starts. The fish that I'll be buying in February, Ryan's going to hold on to them until April, May. No, he's not really.
I'm going to sing about wait for it. There'll be an answer in a minute.
They will be back at the end of February, and they'll have to go all in the heat. So for me, February time is really the quarantine process of getting those fish fit and ready to be sold off.
That's more March, isn't it? By the time they're back.
Yeah, March.
Well, it is, but then the other issue, and I see people selling fish this time of year and overwintering and all the rest of it. I don't want to get into that realms of holding fish for customers. For me, it's just great.
So many people contact me asking when will Matt start doing overwintering.
Yeah. Every good dealer should do it.
Yeah, perhaps I'm not a good dealer in that sense. Those fish will be those fish come February, March. Yes, there is some that I've already sold that I'm overwintering. But Rick, you know what it's like on the tanks, and how many, I hear it loads where people have bought fish from certain people and come to March, April, and they haven't even got the fish to give them. Or they've gone backwards, and then what happens? So, no. If you want to come and buy a fish, we're open. But
it takes space. We have to have a whole...
Yeah.
We've got one pond. We probably have 2 ponds. By April, 2 whole ponds of the 12 that are available are all sold fish, waiting for action. And obviously, it's a backlog. It's a problem, but it's a way of selling fish and making money through the winter, isn't it? Well, you still got bills to pay and some income coming in's. It's sort of worth it. I don't know.
It is, but then if you've got the money going to come in April anyway, I'm not worried about it. Yes, I've got my electricity to pay and my food to pay and my massive bill to Ryan.
Which may have just got a lot bigger since you said he's keeping them till May.
But yeah, at the end of the day, you've got I think we have to offer that service of keeping fish for people. It is a pain. And it's amazing how many times you get to April and people still haven't collected fish. And you have to start chasing people. And it's like, oh, can I have it mid-April? Oh, it's still cold. Or the window hasn't turned up. Well, I've not done this. The pond's not done. You do start getting in a bit of a shit stain then. But
it surprised me when I've been to some places. whether this be in forms of sales, of how many people will actually commit to buying something and then never either turn up for it, some of them not paying, and others that have paid and never come and collect it.
Yeah.
Well, one of my
How
mates,
can you buy something like that and then not come and get what you've paid for?
one of my mates runs
What
a
do you do?
company, and they do a lot of gift vouchers at Christmas. It's a gun shop, actually. And he says 35% of his vouchers are sold are not claimed every year.
Wow.
That's
I
massive.
can understand that to a degree because obviously people buy it as gifts in a panic. We had quite a lot of gift vouchers sold 23rd, 24th of December. If you gift vouchers. shit. But most of ours do get redeemed. Also, they go to a koi keeper, and you're always going to want to buy food, or even if they don't want to buy our food. Because the trouble is, we have people come to buy fish for hobbyists, and you kind of have to say, "Are you sure?" Because somebody will keep koi, and they might keep top end Japfish and wouldn't want one of our fish just because of their situation. And someone that thinks it's doing them a favour for their birthday or for father's whatever wants to come and buy them a fish, and you're like, you sure you don't want to take a gift voucher, or you sure you want to do this? Because they might not be that happy when you buy them something that they don't really want in their pond.
It's like somebody turning up and buying a butterfly koi for their dad's Father's Day present, or a sturgeon for Crafty's pond. It just wouldn't go down well, would it?
No, but it does happen, and you can do what you do, didn't you?
Right, Ed, quick one for you, Sarah. What do you think of the guys' shenanigans on the GKP?
With the job I do, I love it.
There you go.
Ollie's quick one then. What is the ideal temperature for filter bacteria to start or to still be functioning in our filters? Now, this one is going to be an interesting one.
The question doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, ideal temperature, or what temperature? Let's rephrase it with what's the lowest temperature for filter bacteria to still be functioning in our filter? In a filter.
It will survive above 0 degrees. So if it's surviving, it's there. It may only be 1%, but it's there to establish the pond. When the temperature pond starts to come up, a percentage of bacteria is going to increase. Where if you've got a pond that's below 0 and the bacteria is dying, Rick's got a smirk on his face.
I'm not going anywhere.
This is why I knew it would be a good one. Go on, Rick. Slap it with the facts.
Well, no, but the question's ideal temperature for filter bacteria is 23 degrees. That's when it multiplies fastest. That's when it consumes the most ammonia, breaks the most fish waste. That's why a lot of people say 23 degrees is your window for, to grow fish. Realistically, it's a bit of a broad.
But what temperature he's asking I presume during the winter, can the water temperature go down?
Now you're adding way more in than what I did. I just changed one word.
You won't kill it. You freeze it. It's not going to die, even if it's frozen. If it's frozen. But what temperature does your fridge run at?
That's why we're going to be interested. God.
But your fridge runs at like 4 degrees, doesn't it? That basically inhibits bacterial growth. So at 4 degrees, it's basically not doing anything. At 6 degrees, it probably multiplies once every 24 hours or whatever. And as your temperature comes up, it multiplies faster and faster to the point at 23 to 4 degrees, it's at its peak, go hotter than that, and then it starts to slow down again. And you probably cook it at 70. Meat, 70 degrees, isn't it?
So this is why we always say that when it comes to spring and your fish start looking for food because the pond waters come up, don't go smacking in loads of food.
Sticking them on a 7-day feed cycle.
Because your filter hasn't established itself on the limited amount of bacteria that survive the winter months.
But what can you do to help it?
Put a heat on it.
It likes a bit of sun. You can take it on holiday with you.
Put a heater on it. It's a fucking answer to everything, isn't it? Eat your pond. Put an heater on it.
It is the only thing. Yes, you can chuck obviously some of the bacteria starts or filter starts in there.
Yeah, but you can get cold water bacteria.
Can you?
Yes.
Come on, bring that one up. Google it.
I don't need that. It's a
I want
fact.
evidence. I want evidence behind this one to say cold water. Later.
Even the dog was like that. No.
Are you ready?
Go on then.
Ready? To be fair, they used to call koi cold water, didn't they? When they're really sort of subtropical.
Aqua cold water beneficial bacteria for
Yeah.
cold water.
But is that cold water as in the sense of like what Ricky's saying? Cold water or tropical water?
There's a dude that's treat twice weekly after water falls below 10 degrees. For 2 weeks, then 1 week as a pond is if the pond's not frozen. So it's actually made to go down to water falls. Hang about. Then twice weekly, once water falls above or rises above 5 degrees.
But basically, is that not saying that it's dying off? You're putting something in that does something and dies. Because where's it going?
There is a few types of it, though, isn't there? Surely to God, you've heard of it.
Surely it's got
Aquascape. Cold water beneficial bacteria for ponds and water features. That dude, he's done a whole video on it, hasn't he?
Well, you know what these YouTubers are like.
There's a YouTuber that does it, yeah, and I can't remember his name. In fact, let's see if I can find it on YouTube and see what that stuff was.
So what's it achieving? Ammonia removal at low temperatures? No, I don't know.
1 second. Can't multitask.
Off the hoof live. We're Googling as we go.
Yeah, it is here. There you go. Cold water beneficial bacteria for ponds. And it's the pond advisor, and he actually has a college for training people on how to.
He has a college.
Eat fish. Yeah, he does. Straight up. You've never seen this dude? Oh my God, you've not lived.
Didn't we have a chap on there once before that was talking about that water, and you could go and do a?
Oh, no, that's Sid, wasn't it?
The pond advisor. Yeah. There's been a few YouTubers now that have gone to his actual school of learning to teach you how to look after and keep and do.
I've never seen him in my life. No.
You've never seen him, no?
I don't watch much YouTube. It does me head in.
There you go. Let's see if it shows more in his links about. I mean, even the Koi Whisperer has been there.
Oh, it must be good then. I regard the Koi Whisperer as the same level as the sun. If he said it, it must be true.
Oh.
Who we got on there? What's going on? We've got an extra voice popping in.
There, look. See? Pond College.
Wow.
Yeah.
Straight up, it's there. Oh.
I wonder why Sparshot had lost some of its students.
You see it there, look. See it there, Pond College. He has a whole thing for you to go there and learn how to do it. Never heard of him. How have you never heard of him, Tony? Look how many subscribers he's got. 43,900.
Is that American?
No, he's English.
You sure?
You don't say?
Yeah, you can,
100%
you can actually see his mobile phone number on his profile picture.
Years of experience and global recognition. Meet Mark, also known as the Pond Advisor. With over 35 years of experience and global recognition, he is your go-to source for all things ponds and water features.
Hello, welcome to my channel.
Follow along.
Sounds pretty English to me.
Journey
Matt Wilson.
There you go. I've never heard of him, mate.
And he's in a whole video about cold water bacteria.
Yeah. Like filter start.
Yes, same shit.
If he's
Beneficial bacteria.
Yeah.
there you go.
Has he got two?
Well,
You
who
can
else
even
was
go-
on the channel a minute ago?
You can even go to his college or his college of learning.
I reckon that's the new thing for you, Ricky.
What, having students?
Yeah. Can you imagine it?
We've always
Listen,
had,
A student there, new first koi.
we've always had them.
What?
Students.
Did you hear that? Tony says, well, I'm not one of his subscribers at 49,900. I don't think he'll be bothered.
No. Well, look
I
at
think
it.
he's got enough.
We have students all the time from Spar Shop. Not
Never
like,
creates
no,
stuff,
no,
does he?
no, I
Never
mean
really
in, like,
well,
the
I've really not have heard of that guy. He's probably one of the biggest pond builders that's ever been on YouTube. He's got 456 odd videos of all pond builds that he does. He does some really good pond builds, to be fair.
Well, I've never heard of him, and I'm the second biggest.
But you modestly, obviously.
Actually, I'll send you a picture of one that we're doing now. Looks nice.
oh,
Yeah,
look.
but you're building it, you're going to say that. Let me guess, it's made of breeze blocks, so it's above ground.
Nope.
No, I'll take it back then.
It's made of breeze blocks.
49,000 but 15 thumbs. Well, this is the thing, Simon. Have you given me a thumbs up tonight? I bet you haven't. And that'd be the reason, because it's like, they're like rocking out shit. It's like I charge you all for them every week. Absolutely free.
Who else is talking on here at the minute?
Got all the
Aaron.
That was me then. Sorry, guys.
No, it's him playing videos in background trying to show us. Come on, then send it through. Is it coming?
Turn the sound off, guys, please.
No, not now. Not now you said that.
Oh, what's he doing?
Here you go, mate. This is a quick video that
Sound off.
No one knew that sounded weird.
Actually, it wasn't him, was it?
It's not me, no. It's
It's the pond builder.
Where's the goddamn sound?
You ain't building that.
There
Right,
you go. There's a quick video of it.
be nice, wouldn't it?
Someone else is building it. You're just getting involved with the filtration, aren't you?
Yeah, because
You
well,
don't-
So you just straight up lied then, didn't you? You said you're
No.
building a big pond and all you're going to do is put a drum on it that comes from thing but he doesn't need a water supply going underneath his kitchen, up through his attic and through his floorboards and shit, does
look at the size of the garden.
it? Is that all his garden?
Yeah, it's
Why is he
massive.
building such a small pond then?
It's near you, Ricky. It's a parley.
That's massive. All that down there is.
Yeah. What,
Is that a nice little waterfall coming all the way down the side there?
I need to do some more digging at it because the builder that was on the site is stopped.
Now, come on then, Matt. Really? What's the depth of that pond overall? 3 foot?
4.5 feet
Yeah.
in the deepest patch. But if you look at the
In the
level
middle.
there, that's 1.5 feet still to go on topping it up.
Oh, so it's going to be above grounds, partially above. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that back down onto the stour?
Yeah.
What's it? Has it got? Is that just filled with water already?
Yeah.
Just
You've hit
regular.
the rainwater. You've hit the water table.
Yeah, there's no line or anything in there. That's the water table.
Shit. That's going to be a bugger, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. See, on a serious note, when you're doing something like that and you hit the water table, so that's already 2 foot of water table there, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's not the natural water table though. That's just because it was flooded. So because the tower's down below that, the water table's lower, but it will if you don't take the pond high enough on a real wet winter, it will push the liner up.
If
If you don't go high enough, it will flood. That's when those sort of ponds can go horribly wrong.
Shit.
So you got, yeah. If a heron puts a hole in it 6 inches down and it drops 6 inches and you have a lot of rain, the liner suddenly gets blah, 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 and all the fish are flapping around on top of it.
We've seen it loads.
Don't it? Yeah, correct there, Gaz. So I'll not bother to sub to him. He builds them like the Yanks. He does actually, mate. Yeah, he does, but he does do both. He does do it like the aquascape way and all that kind of stuff too.
I'll have a look at his channel, mate. It looks right. He doesn't look. The more people that teach people stuff, the better, isn't it?
Yeah. I think there's been a few. Well, a few YouTubers that have gone to his college.
I forgot what I was going to say then. You put me off.
Well, you really want to start by saying what you're actually doing on this pond build, which is fitting the filter.
No, taking over from there now. So, yeah, the filtration, that they had no filtration at all in the allowance at all. As you can see there's no bottom drains, no pipe work, nothing at all, no area for the filtration. So that's got to be designed. Pond liner, won't be a box liner. And then capping it off and near the top.
Mate,
Where's the window going?
Isn't it?
It'd be nice when it's done, that's for sure.
Where's the window going?
Just the top, the whole surface.
So you can have a top window.
No window.
So is this going to be stairs down to a bridge over?
Ideally, that's what he's looking for, is like a wooden Japanese style.
Up and over here.
Up and over. We do some weird ones. It was like the elephant swimming pool that we built that it was basically for his dogs. He had a grounds like this and he walked the same circuit every day. And on the way back, he wanted the dogs to be able to jump into a pond, which cost them thousands to build, so that they could clean themselves off, walk up to the house, and they worked it out from that point to that point, the dogs would be dry. It's nuts what some people will go to, or what people got expenditure to spend.
Well, keeps you employed, building ponds for. Why is it an elephant swimming pool for dogs? Where's the elephant come in?
The elephant was the shower for the dogs, so their their trunks were jetting the water into the pond. So when the dogs got in there to swim, they were actually having a shower at the same time. And then the filtration in there was just basically mechanical to take out all of the shit the dogs had dropped in there. No UVs, no biological, just take the shit away.
Nice. Fair enough. Each to their own, isn't it? I spend more a month on dog food than I do fish food. So that might not quite be true, to be fair.
When we're talking about the ponds, the old, like the one that we've just been looking at then, not mine, on that YouTuber, how do they get away with it? Because we talk about having things in the pond and limiting scraping, scratching.
What we've like the aquascope.
Yeah.
They seem to fill everything full of stones and rubbles, but
yeah,
they burn it all down once a year and jet wash it all out, rinse it all off, jet wash it out, rinse it all off, and do all that kind of thing. Just seems like.
Yeah, but that's an aesthetic pond more than a koi pond, isn't it? But when you go to Japan, you'll see those sort of ponds in Japanese gardens with fucking great boulders and koi swimming about, and you think, well, if that's my fish, it's battered, but they look mint. They don't seem to have a problem.
I got a question for you. Now we've always said, and I'm going to see if I can find the video that we watched. a lot of time it's said that koi don't survive well in cold water temperatures, or they need to be in deep water to survive the cold water temperatures. Yet we found a video the other day where these are all like little small canals of about 16-inch max in depth, and they're full with Japanese koi all over the place.
Probably. It's all their waste fish in Japan, so they dump them.
Well, technically,
Everywhere.
they were just dumped in. Well, not so much dumped, but they were free living
In streams.
in streams and little. I'm going to see if I can find it, because I was quite gobsmacked to think, because that first thing I said is, well, hang about. They always say that they need 4 foot of water and they need to be kept at a certain temperature. Yet Japan has some real bad winters. But these fish, I'm going to see if I can. I'm just going through my history of what we've watched. See if I can find it again.
Are you talking about like the like almost ditches that run down the roads?
Like little ditches and running at the side of people's houses, at the back gateways at the back.
When you go out to Japan, they run water all over the roads, down the ditches, around the
Yeah, I
greens.
saw that too.
And the water's obviously warmer than freezing, isn't it? So it doesn't matter what depth it is. The water's fresh water, and it doesn't matter if it's 4 or 5 degrees. They'll survive in that, no bother. If it's not a heron wandering around to smash them all, that's what amazes me, that the predators don't eat them all.
So in a way, then we could ditch Ryan and just do a bit of street trading.
Look, check this out. I'll show you now.
Out, mate. Scoop them out.
Look.
Yeah, loving it. That water looks good though, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. Yeah, 100% does. Yeah, but if you look through this,
And that show was quite nice, to be fair, as well, wasn't it?
but these are literally just side of roads. Look, I mean that mirror carp there, its back's breaking water, and it's not even deep enough for it to cover the fish's back. How did they manage to survive through that in winter?
Mate, who knows? Who knows? I'm sure there'll be a slightly deeper area somewhere they can get out of the way a bit. But yeah, it's because they've got water moving all the time, different places. It's just a whole different world. Some of the stuff they do, some of the stuff we wouldn't find all right. It's just what it is, isn't it?
There must be like so many fish that are dumped in there, though, on a yearly, monthly basis.
Some of them used to in different places.
These are in the national parks in the middle of.
Yeah, but these are stocked in. So, like when you go to the museum and stuff, they'll donate koi to the museum, the temples. So there's
nice temperatures of this pond on the actual video, and it's 8 degrees C. Oh, 10 degrees C. There, look, temperature 10 degrees C.
Most of the year, mate. But that's moving water as well. So they're like in like a little river system.
Yeah,
water coming out. So probably warm water in the mountains as well as it's good quality water. They're stocked in there. They're not fish that are just being chucked in there.
No. But what about come the winter months when it's,
But it's still not going to be that. It's like groundwater's never that cold, is it?
To be fair, there's a fair few in there that are looking dodgy.
All right, then.
But if you've got groundwater that comes out at 10 degrees out of the mountain, it's 10 degrees summer, winter. It's 10 degrees. You might get a little bit warmer in the summer, but it's not a bad environment. The only reality is normally predators would smash them. So they're obviously somewhere where they're a bit safer. They've probably got grids down further down, so they can't go too far.
Yeah, so each section seems to be segregated off so that they can't get from one bit to another. But I mean, that's what 12-inch, if that.
You only need the depth of the water for the fish. Obviously, they don't need it, do they?
Obviously, no. Yeah. I mean, some. Yeah, they probably are the culls thrown, chucked in. Yeah, look at that, 23 degrees in summer.
Was that running alongside the canal, though? So, like on that picture there, and on the left-hand side, looked like the main river or canal.
Mate, they're everywhere out there. Imagine in this country, some bike could be nicking them left, right, centre. Off down the garden centre. Hey, you want one of these?
I thought they were pretty cool. I mean, there's some half decent looking fish.
Yeah, so
Big gammy there, look. I mean, some of them are dropping off of the colours and patterns, and some of them are Deutsch tags or mirror carp.
There'd be a load of like magoi and stuff in there, and just normal carp, but yeah.
It's hope for you yet, guys. Fuck off. Oh dear. Nice goshky there, look.
Go, look.
Nice
Matt's
peck.
hang on, we'll have that.
There, look.
Yeah.
the funny thing is, they don't look like they're swimming properly, though, do they?
But they're probably
They're
not.
all,
They're
they all
knackered.
like head up, like they're knackered from swimming against the tide all the time. Or the current.
I don't,
They're looking for food, aren't they? But someone's walking by with a camera and they're all like, oh.
yeah,
hello.
they're all heads up, aren't they? Looking up like that, waiting for something to be thrown in for him. But they don't look like the shorter food. I mean, that's got some chunk to it.
There you go.
Yeah. Just thought it was pretty interesting how they were all over the place like that. And that's called the Koi channel. If everybody's interested. The Koi channel.
So good they named them twice the Koi Koi channel. But yeah, there must be millions of fish. But yeah, some of the stuff in Tanai farm, he buys fish from everywhere and ships them. They breed their own breeding, but they've also got fishing ponds where they put koi in. So you pay, so the ponds to fish, they're like canals, and they're different prices. So you pay like 20 quid to fish this pond, and they're ugly fish. And then the next one, and you catch them, put them in your net, and take them home with you. So you catch the koi that you want out of the pond on rod and line. It's like bizarre, but you see, pay money to fish different ponds, and the quality of the fish in the ponds are different. So if you catch, you obviously net it, and that's the one you're taking home with you.
That's what Ryan's promised to take us to one of the restaurants. There you go. I want that fish there in the aquarium.
Yeah, not for eating. This is fish to take home for your pond, but you can buy fish to eat. But they also, let's say, they do koi in ponds where you go fishing, and then you take the fish you catch are the ones you take home for your pond. It's all sorts goes on.
I bet Rick could still blank there. Not Rick, mate. It's me that blanks me. I blank every time I go to fish down his. Well,
I only blank because I never forget. I forget to cast out, don't I?
No, you didn't. Oh yeah, last time you didn't even cast out, did you? At all.
Too busy socialising.
Rick even called me levered.
Being the host, didn't I? I've got to look after everyone.
Yeah. What did I miss? Few bags on the plane, Gaz. Yeah, I should. I'll bring someone. I'll bring one back for everybody. Get right. Ship them.
What, are you giving away freebies now?
It's what?
Are you giving away freebies now? Bloody hell.
Well, I'm giving away anything that you're giving away. You, I mean, you're right. You're that rich. You're handing away fillers. So happy days, mate. There's no backing out of it now. You sit there, shake your head, and go. I got you live, recorded.
I said a drum. I didn't say what type of drum.
Yeah,
You also agreed to
hang
pay
about.
for.
Hang about. I don't want no drummer boy drum. Can't filter my pond with that, can I? Right then, ladies and gents. Anybody else got any more questions or topics? Because we have exhausted everything that we have for this evening. God, glad when I got rid of this cough. It's driving me mad. Washing machine drum, yeah, it probably will be. One out of his old washer that he just kicked out at the back end of last year. Just thought bearing went in it or something.
See, Dad, you don't know anything about me. I don't have a washing machine. I just buy new, don't have it.
Right,
Actually, I do. I should have known that, shouldn't I? We went for a weekend away with 6 outfits, matching, identical. Socks,
pants, socks, shirts. Never seen anything like it.
You went to go to Japan. That's why we've got 50 kilos of luggage we can take.
50
kilo.
Yeah, I know.
I'm taking a handbag, mate. As long as I got my lifty,
Clothes.
Oh, I think I just made a mistake when booking it.
Oh, dear me. Right then. Have we got any more for any more this evening, ladies and gents?
Did we actually answer any questions?
No. We just skipped. We just
Skip
do
past
it.
and talked about someone
Skip
else.
past and talk crap. Job done. Another Thursday night. Tune in same time next week. Any more for any more? Anybody else? Anybody got out? Did I miss anybody's questions out? Probably did. Probably missed loads. I don't think I did.
Shall I do a video of the new super filters I'm making? That'd be a thing for next week or the week after.
Yeah, there you go. Super fillers.
Simplicity beyond.
And yours mostly because yours is shorts. But yeah, I don't think I could do a 50 kg.
I ain't carrying it.
50 kg with the wood.
So when are you going out, guys?
Ryan, if you're still watching, when are we actually going, mate? Because I need to book it off. So if you could send me the dates, it'd be really good. Otherwise, might not be going. This coming Monday, Rick.
What, you're going?
Well, we're going, and we're going for the Old Japan show. So I believe that's the 25th and the 26th, isn't it? So I think we're going out and we're set 24th over there for a few days for that, and then so many odd days in Niigata. Then I believe.
What's that we're laughing at?
20 kg clothes, 30 kg sake.
But to be fair, if you brought back 2 bags of sake in your luggage, you probably would have covered your costs to the flight.
Bring some antibiotics back in there as well. You'll be done.
Yeah.
So
I believe we're going on 24th, but I don't know exactly for how long, where, and when. I'm sure Ryan will let me know if he's.
Sure, he won't.
Is there? Ryan, when do we go? What dates? What date do you pick us up and drop us off? Or do we meet you there, whatever? I don't even know.
You're getting a lift from the home as well. Get a limo.
I am getting
Limo.
I'm getting everything. Yeah. I'm getting picked up. Jeff's picking me up. Me and Jeff are going down in car together, jumping on aeroplane, and then from there on in, we've got no idea. But I don't even know when, where, what, how, anything yet.
To be fair, I'm exactly the same. So don't stress about it.
Oh, I'm stressing, mate.
All we know is
I would like to be able to book it off so I can actually be there, or otherwise I won't be going.
Well, we know our hotel, don't we, Rick? But the problem is the hotels. It's a hotel that's got about 8 different locations across Japan with the same name.
That's fine. We're only going to the one in Naga or Nagayoko or whatever. It's fine.
Make sure you take.
It's full of
not Thailand.
days of the night.
Thailand would be good, mate. I'll go anywhere. I've even got. Hang about. I don't even know if I can show these. Crap. Where are they?
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for. Yeah, there's a question. What am I looking for? I'm looking for thumbnails that I've made.
Thumbnails.
Yeah, thumbnails.
Enlighten me.
Just like that. Mine have still got. Oh, it's nearly come off. Look, still got the. What's the red stuff you put on your nails?
Oh, I thought you were going to. Mine's normally got formula.
Nail varnish.
I've still got from New Year's Eve when I was red. I went full on. Red face, red ears, red hands, red nails.
Did you?
Yeah.
You're a strange man.
There we go. There we got all my fun whales all made up.
Trip of a lifetime.
Well, it is, mate, isn't it? Really, for me.
Oh, not just for you. I'll tell you what, though, those Kahaka you got in your logo, you might need to start improving them.
Why?
Well, when the breeds out of Japan see that logo, they'll say, "Oh no."
No, they're going to look at that and think, "Hang about, that's a watercolor of a Japanese kahaka with a watercolor thumbnail." There's a theme going on, Rick.
I think they'll be like,
That, guys, I just sent you is one weird, unique variety of person.
What's what? Oh,
what you sent? You better not be sending dodgy pictures again.
No.
It's not my New Year's Eve outfit, is it?
there we go.
Is it New Year's Eve?
There he is.
Christmas Day down the pub.
What are you wearing? Is that a Christmas onesie? What was the? What, I'm going as red. What was that about?
That was for New Year's Eve.
Was what you had to go as a colour, and you went as red.
Yeah.
What was the black?
That's a unicorn onesie my niece got me as a joke. And I said, "What's your joke? We're all going down the pub and I'm going to wear it." She's like,
You look about 3 times as big as you are.
why not?
At least you got you a big onesie so you could fit in it.
Ooh, I think one size fits all. I think they're called.
No, I mean, like normally they're quite
new
tight.
fashion. They're called Ugsies or something.
Oh, you get right. I'm with you. So you've got one of those like big oversized ones, which massive hood on it and everything.
Yeah, it's quite nice. I think walking down the road.
Pam's got one. She looks like a Christmas pudding.
Nice.
Hoodies. Guys,
Yeah,
check your Telegram. Oh, have you sent it, Vince?
I think I fired one through.
Oh, is that,
It looked quite good. If you're going to do it, you got to do it, ain't you?
You do like a little bit of fancy dress, don't you?
If you go into a fancy dress party, you got to do it.
I just cringe when I get invited to a party and then Pam goes and it's fancy dress and I'm like, nah. What's that face about?
I don't know, but Ezra's little mate come up to me and goes, "Why have you come as a watermelon?"
That's a good shout, isn't it?
I don't know. Got to be done, isn't it? If you can't laugh at yourself, you're in trouble.
Happy New Year, mate. Laters.
And Vincent, a video of you. God, this coffee's driving me up the wall. Right, there we go then, ladies and gents. That is us now up to the 3-hour mark. So we're going to draw this one to an end.
Draw a line under.
As it says, first one back in the new year. Marco Togniri says, Happy New Year, everyone. Mon the fish. Just as we decided we were going to leave. Nothing personal, mate. But that's it for this evening. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Thanks for coming and joining us. Sarah, the novice koi keeper. Rick from New Forest Koi. Matt from Howie Koi. And as always, guys, you for tuning in, week out. Usual thing, guys, if you've been enjoying this kind of content, do us a huge favor. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. And until next time, take it away, Matt.
Love you a long time.
Love you a long time.
Love you a long time.
You in
Keep smiling. Keep smiling.
Um,
I'll catch you on the next one.
Cricket bats.
Bye.
no, look, I thought I had craft.